welcome to We Geek Podcast. Today is June 18th, 2019, episode 169. Been gone for a minute. Our schedules just were colliding there right around the week of E3. So we got a ton of news to talk about. Got some movie news. Now, you know what? I keep saying I'm going to go to the movies, but life finds a way to get in the way. So I wasn't able to go see Aladdin like I wanted to, but how'd the box office do, dude? Well, hold on. First off, how was your week? How have you been, man?
It's work.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Just doing what I can.
Same here. Work. And then every time I think I get ahead, it's some surprise thing pops up.
Man, you're not kidding. I was like, I've had a good week. I've got my car payments done. I took some off my credit card. Like I'm actually kind of catching up this week. Poof, here's something wrong with your car. It's like, God damn it. Why? Just one time,
It never fails, man. It never fails. Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy week. Same here, just work. I've been playing a lot on my PC this last week and my Switch.
Nice. You get that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate deal?
I have not. No, it's like $1, right?
Yeah, it's $1 for the first month. And if you have because I did a year of live last time I did it, and I had 3 months left. They just added that on. So, like, my first billing doesn't actually start until September.
That's awesome.
They were like, fine, you're covered. You're good. We got you. Like, there was no extra charge. There was nothing. They were like, oh, okay, this goes to this far, so you're good. The first time you pay your 15 is in September. All right, cool.
What PC games are on that right now? Is there a list somewhere?
There is. I'm sure you can look at this. Probably just, like, Xbox Game Pass PC list.
And I should do that then.
Yeah, because I'm sure there is one. Because it's in beta, not like beta. It's one of those. It's like it's in beta right now, which is really the thing of like we're doing this, but we're calling it a beta because we know things are going to go wrong, so you can't be mad at us.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here's all games. So like Brothers, Super Hot, Dead by Daylight. The Borderland games, holy crap, there's like a ton.
Now are you looking up, now there is a difference between what's on console and what's on PC.
I clicked on PC games.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like 100 and so I think they did their thing of like, it's 100 plus games. I'm like, all right.
Oh my god, it's got to be over 200 because I clicked 200 games per page and there's 2 pages.
Jesus.
So holy crap. Yeah, there's like Elder Scrolls Online, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. There's this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's especially if you're doing PC, hell yeah. Like
yeah, oh man, it's got Shadows of Mordor. Yes. Yeah, this is definitely a no-brainer. This is because the one for what was it? Oh man, the one for it was EA's for like $5, and it's like okay, it's got Star Wars, it's got some pretty big ones.
Oh yeah, all access is a steal. It's like $60 a year. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, but totally. This is an even bigger deal. Like this is insane.
Oh, it's huge. Oh, Game Pass is massive. Game Pass is a huge thing. It's what PlayStation Now wanted to be, but PS Now was like, and we're streaming, and everybody's like, yeah, but that sucks, and it usually doesn't work. Game Pass is like, hey, download these, and then eventually, after a few months, we're gonna rotate some of them out. But if it's a game that you're playing that you really like, and the best thing about Game Pass is all of the first party games. Yeah, I love that. I really do, because otherwise I wouldn't have played Sea of Thieves. I've been playing the hell out of Forza Horizon 4. That was one of the reasons I bought it. So I thought when I started subscribing to it was like, yep, there's a new Forza Horizon coming out. I'm in. And I mean, it covers it's Crackdown, it's State of Decay, it's Halo. It's all if it's a first party game, it's on there.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see it's filtering it now. Okay, so I see where it has the Xbox. It has the Xbox and PC.
Yeah. So
like certain things are not on it, like the Halo collection's not on it, but it's got like
not yet, but it is coming to it.
Yeah. That is coming. Yeah. So yeah, okay. So I see, but I mean, it's got a ton of stuff. Here.
It's still a huge. I imagine it's still a big library on PC, no doubt.
Yeah. This is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sign up for that.
Yeah, if you're on PC, and if these are probably games people have played to death to begin with, PC gamers, but I think it's a way of just integrating the systems. And Game Pass Ultimate is great because it's Xbox Live and it's Game Pass on both Xbox and PC. included.
Mm-hmm.
And it's $15 a month, which was about the going rate for both of these anyway. So I mean,
yeah, you can't beat that.
It's a steal, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Hollow Knight. I recently got that on the Switch. I've been playing that.
Nice.
Have you played Hollow Knight?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to because it's on Game Pass.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's pretty fun, man. It's like a Castlevania.
It's a Metroidvania kind of game. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. There was another one I was looking at. What is it? The Symphony of Blood. What is it?
Bloodstained or something like that. It's
Ritual of the Night.
Yeah, it's the Castlevania knockoff kind of thing.
Yes, and I think it's the same guy who created Castlevania, right?
I think it's something like that. It's one of those. It's kind of like how Inafune went off to make Mighty Number 9, which is basically just a knockoff Mega Man game.
Yes, so yeah, it's the former producer, and I would butcher his name, but it's a former producer of the Castlevania series. I'm reading here that so Konami would not let him make the game, so he was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm gonna go make my own."
Yep, I'll go do it myself. Yeah, it's the same thing Inafune did.
Yeah, and I think it's out on Steam now, but it comes out on Switch in about a week or so.
Yeah, and it was on Game Pass.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome then.
I think
it's on Game Pass?
Either it was or it was a game for gold a while back.
No. Okay, you're thinking of a different game.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so Symphony, hold on. Ritual of the Night is the brand new one.
Oh, was there one before this?
There was one before that.
Okay, that's the one that I'm thinking. I didn't know there were two.
The one before this was more like a Super Nintendo game, where this one looks more like the PlayStation 2 era.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like the 2.5D or whatever.
Right. So it's more Symphony of the Night than
exactly.
Okay, than like the old school. I got you.
Yeah. So, and I saw Jim Sterling praise it, and a bunch of other people just saying it's absolutely amazing. So, it's like $40, but yeah, man, I love those kind of games. So I've been playing that on the Switch. Man, and we'll get into the E3 stuff, but I picked back up Breath of the Wild. Went to my friend's house, and we were able to unlock all the Smash characters.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a little trick that we did, but man, were they blown? Because he's got the game on his system too, or kids, and it blew his mind that to get Mewtwo and a few other characters. So we had a lot of fun doing that. But yeah, man. Anyway, wait, where were we? Okay, yeah. So back to box office.
Yeah.
How does box office do this week?
Terribly.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, like genuinely horribly. Men in Black, for all of its clout and everything, and look, I've been on a roll, man. I have missed very few movies in the last couple weeks. I'm excited about that. I'm taking full advantage of being able to see free movies because I work at a movie theater. It's awesome.
Right.
Men in Black is decent. It's not great. I don't think it's the franchise builder they were looking for.
Right.
But the chemistry is still there. Like Thor and Valkyrie could still really roll, but there's a little too much world building that also has to take place, and it gets a little muddled with everything. It was a nice try, and I would like to see another one just to see what they could really do with it. I think they could really throttle up that pairing and do something cool. It did not do well. It made $30 million for its opening weekend, which is painful. Secret Life of Pets picked up a little over $24 million. Secret Life of Pets keeps chugging along. People keep showing up for that, and Aladdin like crazy. Aladdin picked up another $17 million. It's on its way to try to get to 300. I don't think it will, especially with what comes out this week, but being at 264 and change is nothing to sneeze at.
All right.
Rocket Man picked up about 9.5, so it's sitting close to 67 now, which is good. And I enjoyed Rocket Man. I really liked Rocket Man. It's more spectacle than Bohemian Rhapsody was. It's also a little. It's not quite as linear in its own little way. it's more about the fantasy of just here's how these songs work and the set pieces and everything, and it's I think I liked Bohemian Rhapsody a little more. I think I enjoyed it more, but Rocketman is a better movie.
Oh, okay.
I'll put it that way. It's also way more the kind of people who think that Bohemian Rhapsody was a little tame, they would like Rocketman because it pulls no punches.
Okay.
It literally opens with him sitting down in a rehab group, and he's saying, "My name is Elton Hercules John. I'm an alcoholic," and
Oh wow.
and so on and so on. Lists like 5 or 6 other things. So they set the tone immediately of this movie is going to take no prisoners.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Dark Phoenix fell off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
It went from like what was it, like a 40 million opening weekend to 9 in its second or something. It tanked.
Yeah, I think this was a mixture of a bunch of different things, but for because I've asked my friends who love the X-Men movies, they go see all these superhero movies, and most of them haven't seen it. And when I ask why, they were like, "Well, why? Disney just bought them. I don't care about that anymore."
That's part of it, and here's the Dark Phoenix is not the worst of the X-Men movies, right. Which is not, that's damning with faint praise.
Here's the thing. I've even heard some people say that it's worse though than the third one.
No, not by a long shot.
That again, I haven't seen it, so I'm going. I trust you. I trust your word.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I from someone who did go and see it, they were telling me that they felt like it was, I don't know, like a remix of it.
In a way, just because it's the Dark Phoenix story, but it's done differently.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, Jean's had these powers since birth. It reminds you of like, hey, no, this is a thing that came from space.
Well, I guess to them they felt like they got such bad vibes when they were watching it. Like, oh god, this is reminding me of the third one, and now it's even worse because it's trying to do this again. I didn't see it, so I have no idea.
Yeah, except it doesn't follow the third one, and I think that's somebody who forgot just how bad The Last Stand really was. It's atrocious. Dark Phoenix is not, but it's not good by any stretch, which is unfortunate, but it's not the worst in the series.
See, I wasn't a fan of the Apocalypse. Is this kind of on that same level?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I figured. That's what it looked like. I was like, this looks like it's on the same level.
It's about that, because I've forgotten Apocalypse. And I'm gonna forget Dark in a couple of months. I'm gonna forget Dark Phoenix too.
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, Days of Future Past, I loved. That was awesome. Logan was awesome, and I don't want to go into an X-Men movie thinking it's gotta have Wolverine, because there were plenty of good ones without him. But he's not the main guy, right?
Sure. I was gonna say, I was like, name one.
There's a few. I mean, I liked First Class.
You did like First Class. That's fair.
Yeah. I don't think it needs him to carry the series.
That's true.
I guess is what I'm trying to say.
That should be true.
Yeah. That's what my thought was thinking about going into this movie. Honestly, if I see a movie, it's gonna be Aladdin. But Dark Phoenix, the trailer, all that, no, it does nothing for me.
No, and it's just not it's just not great. And and here's the thing, you can see the talent in the cast because they are pulling every piece of everything they can out of this movie. Right. They are trying their asses off, and it shows. And if they didn't have the caliber talent that they have on that cast, this movie would be so much worse. But they do their best to drag this thing up, and it doesn't quite work in the end.
Oh, wow.
It's unfortunate, because I mean, you look at the talent that's there, and they, like, everybody, it's so weird, because you look at this and you think this is a problem somewhere with the material. I don't know where the breakdown was. I don't know what happened. I don't know whose fault it was. But the entire cast shows that they are so much better than what they have to work with. And it's tragic. It really is, because it makes you walk out of there thinking, what if they had something good to work with? What could they have really done? Yeah.
Yeah.
But, if you got to see something that's come out in the last couple weeks, go see Shaft. Shaft was funny as hell.
Yeah.
It's fantastically entertaining. If you've got 2 hours and you're like, I have no idea what to do with my life, if you haven't seen Aladdin, go see it. If you haven't seen Rocket Man, go see it.
Yeah.
But see, you could make an argument for Secret Life of Pets because it's shorter and it's fairly clever. It's decent. It's a decent movie. But if you're just out and about and you're like, I just need to kill some time, dude, go see Shaft. It's so damn funny.
See, I don't even. I've seen the trailers a few times, and I'm like, who are they? What audience is this for? Because it seems like a kooky comedy.
A little. But
I have no idea what the movie's about. It's about. It looks like it's 3 generations of Shaft. Is that correct?
Yeah. In all fairness, the elder Shaft doesn't really come into play until the 3rd act.
Okay.
He's a late addition. It's basically it's great that this movie came out on Father's Day because it's a father and son movie.
That's what I got from it.
It's a movie about family. They just use the backdrop of, Shaft is a bad motherfucker. And it's Samuel L. Jackson. And his kid was raised on the complete opposite end of the spectrum from that. And how does that clash and how does that work? And it's not... They play some tropes into it. Of course they do. Because you have the... Sam Jackson being the archetype of just being a bad dude. So, his mindset is going to be a little more old school. The kid is, a 21st century MIT grad. So he's going to be a little more towards the barista side of things.
Yeah.
And how do they meet in the middle and all that kind of stuff. It is formulaic and it does hit a lot of familiar beats, but I don't think that takes away from anything. And it's damn funny. It's seriously funny. There was almost nobody in the theater when I went to watch it, which was great because I laughed my ass off.
Yeah. Well, dang. Yeah.
It's worth it if you
put that on the list.
If you've got time, check it out. You won't regret it. I
just need to throw my phone away for a weekend, honestly.
There you go.
Anytime I think I get a chance to hey, I'm just gonna veg out this weekend. I'm gonna take care of everything I need to do for the first day I have off for the weekend. It never fails. I always gotta be somewhere. I always gotta do something. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll see a movie next week.
Yeah.
I need to though, because there's a lot of good movies out, man. All these on these lists right now that we're looking at, I want to go see. Even the ones that you've said were, like Dark Phoenix, I still want to see it.
Yeah, I mean it's worth checking out because it does conclude this piece of the X-Men saga. Because I still firmly believe, and I've had this argument with people at work, I still believe that New Mutants is the Phase 4 film. I think it's their introduction into the MCU. That's why they pushed it a year, so they can reshoot it to do what they want it to do.
Yeah.
I don't think people are like, well, it's not the last X-Men movie. They still made New Mutants. No, I think that is a Disney film now.
I don't know. I'm interested to see what New Mutants is.
Yeah. I think they'll keep the horror aspect of it because it worked and it tested well, and they're nothing if not a company that wants to make money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I think it's definitely going to be a way to introduce them. I think it's just going to retcon a lot of what am I looking for? A lot of Age of Ultron into it with Baron Strucker and his experiments and that kind of thing. There's going to be some tie-ins to that, I imagine.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But this, if this week, I mean, I would say Aladdin, Rocketman, and Shaft. Those would be my picks, really. If you're like, hey, what do I go see this week before Toy Story? Because obviously it's my pick for this week coming out.
Yeah.
But before that, I'd go Aladdin, Rocketman, and Shaft. You can't go wrong with those. God, Shaft was too damn funny. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. I really wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I did. Oh man, I need to go see these movies. Oh man. Well, what do we got coming up?
This week we've got Anna, which I don't have any high hopes for at all, really, which is kind of sad. We've got Child's Play, which with Mark Hamill voicing Chucky, that's got me excited for it. If it had been really, I think anybody else, I would have just gone, okay, they remade Child's Play. They're like, no, by the way, the Joker's voicing the killer doll. Okay, I'm interested. I'll check this out.
Yep.
And of course, Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's gonna be the big one. Obviously that's and the reviews are good. The reviews are really positive that I've been seeing, which is always a plus. I mean, I was gonna watch it anyway, but it's always nice to see something like this has the good buzz, pun intended, of something that says, this isn't just a cash grab. It's actually good. So yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
So we'll see how that goes. It's
Yeah.
It's obviously gonna make most of the money. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to see exactly how much of the money.
Yeah.
But it's that I don't even think those will be your top 3. I don't know if Child's Play or Anna will even make the top 5.
Probably not. Toy Story definitely will.
Well, yeah, I mean, Toy Story's gonna be number 1. That's a given.
Yeah. Child's Play, maybe. I mean, it might get some.
It might. Of the other 2, it may.
Yeah.
But I don't think Anna. I mean, hell, Shaft wasn't even in the top 5 this week.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. See what happens. It'd be interesting.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, what do we got? We got some we got some Batman news, right?
Yeah, we got to dig back. Like some of this news, I know is weeks old, but we've been gone for a while. We now know that the sparkling Batman from the second Lego movie is going to be the new Batman. And that this film is going to be part of a trilogy because, of course, it is. Why would it not be? Why can't we just have a thing?
Yeah.
Everything's got to be a franchise. No, I'm actually very looking forward to seeing what Robert Pattinson does with this, because he is a criminally overlooked actor just because of Twilight, and it's not been fair to him because he's actually really damn good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I hear. There's a few movies that I've seen, maybe clips of, that's not Twilight.
Yeah.
And he was pretty good in it, so I'm taking everyone's word for it. That,
he has genuine acting talent, and I think
it's his look that I think bothers me, but I'm sure the kid can act.
Yeah. Well, and I mean,
it's the eyes that just he looks high 24/7.
That's it. Give him a little bit of scruff, and for some reason that takes it away.
I guess, and we'll see. I'm sure that's
It's weird, and I don't know, because I know what you mean. I know exactly what you're saying.
It's not even like I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like the more prettier you get with Batman, the more I'm like, nah, that's not Bruce Wayne. But the more, it's hard to explain. It's kind of like for example, I wouldn't want Leonardo DiCaprio as Batman, if that makes sense.
That's
I think
fair.
he'd be a great Riddler or something.
I'm
totally down. Oh, go ahead.
There's a fine line between like a handsome, eligible billionaire bachelor and just somebody who's just there is an attractiveness ceiling that you have to put on Batman.
Right.
There
I don't
is.
want everyone to look like it's the CW.
Yeah.
Because I don't know it. What am I saying? I do like the CW shows, so but it's one of those like I'm so curious to see what this is, and I hope it doesn't fail like all the other DC movies.
I think if they take a cue from the stuff that works, but I mean that's kind of winging a prayer in it, really. So
yeah.
If only DC would, and then usually you can just kind of stop that sentence and be like, oh yeah, but they don't. So,
yeah.
I don't know, but we'll see. I am cautiously optimistic about it, and I think part of why people only know Pattinson from Twilight is because all his other stuff was not mainstream. And
yeah, that's the other thing is I don't blame people.
Yeah, and I think
for
I think that was a conscious choice on his part as a way of pursuing his craft while not having to deal with people talking to him about Twilight all the time.
And see, that's the thing the studio is going to have to deal with, because that's going to be the complaint from 99% of the people who have only seen him in Twilight and aren't aware, because not everyone watches as many movies as we do or pay attention as, they're the ones that catch these movies on the USA Network, or they might, go to the Dollar Theater and they'll go, hey, I know that guy, but I don't know his name. So that's going to be an obstacle they have to get over. But it all depends. If it looks good and it's a good story, and really, I guess now the real thing is who's going to play the villain. Who's going to be the villain. That's where it gets super interesting.
Yeah, but I think part of the reason to take this role, to decide to come out of just doing smaller films and take on Batman, is to get rid of, to use one giant marquee role to knock out the other one. To say, to put aside, oh, hey, didn't you used to be the dude from Twilight? In 5 years, if he crushes this and everything else about it works, it's, oh, hey, man, you're Batman.
Right.
I would happily take that trade-off, no question.
Yeah. But look at Keanu Reeves.
Man, I'm telling you, man, 2019 year of Keanu. Not even kidding.
But he's had multiple, resurgence. He's come back and changed his image multiple times.
Yeah.
When he did The Matrix, people were like, "That's the, the ones he did before that were obviously Ted."
Yeah.
And then the cop movie, right? Or no, the
Speed.
The Surfers, right?
Oh, you're talking about Point Break. Now, Point Break was 91, I think. Speed was later than that. Speed was 93, 94, I think, something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess it was the Ted that I'm really thinking of. Then.
Yeah, because Bill and Ted were late 80s, mid late 80s, might have been mid 80s even.
That's it, yeah.
And then it was Point Break, and then it was Speed, and then it was The Matrix.
And it was kind of a gradual
yeah.
Oh, these are different, but it was hard to shake that Ted.
It was for the longest time, and then he was Neo forever.
And then once Matrix hit, it was okay, that's the defining character, and now it's
John Wick.
Yeah, now exactly. I mean, you can ask kids these days. A lot of kids haven't even seen The Matrix.
No,
so they only know him as John Wick or the guy in the new video game.
Yeah.
So
he was.
But yeah.
Did you ever see? Was it you that told me to watch Man of Tai Chi?
No.
Okay, that's one, because that preceded John Wick by a couple of years, I think, and that was where. No, because I remember it was my neighbor who told me that back when I was in Orlando, and he's like, "You should watch this," and I was like, "Okay, what's it about?" And it's a short kind of indie kung fu-ish kind of movie, and I was like, "Okay, why should I be interested in this?" And he's like, "Because Keanu Reeves is in it." I said, "Okay, I'm sorry, what now?" Because this was before. I was like, "Are you really a dark sort of kung fu movie, and you're gonna tell me Keanu Reeves is in it?" And he's like, "Yeah." That's why I should watch it? That's exactly why you should watch it. Okay. Right. And I watched it, and I thought, okay, this is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's the movie itself is fine, but you watch Keanu, and you definitely see where John Wick comes from.
Right.
It's definitely something. If you haven't seen it, it's the Man of Tai Chi, I think.
Okay.
Definitely worth checking out. It's not a long movie, if I remember right. I don't even think it's 2 hours.
I think I've seen that. That was back when I was watching Umbach or Umbach, yeah.
Umbach, yeah.
Yeah.
See, Man of Tai Chi was 2013.
Yeah.
And it was I couldn't tell you anything about this movie. Oh, and he directed it.
Really?
I didn't know that. I'm
Google it.
Now learning things. Yeah. Yeah, it was him, and in my cultural relativism blinders here, it's Keanu Reeves and then nobody else I've ever heard of.
Right.
But it's good. It's
I think I've seen this. This was back when I was trying to watch all the kickboxing, kung fu, all those kind of movies. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's definitely had a renaissance, and I'm all for it.
But I didn't know he directed it. That's boss.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that either. That's cool.
But
cool.
But anyway, so all for this, all for that. Uncharted finally got a release date. The movie that they're making with Tom Holland swinging from things.
Okay.
So I just kept looking at this and I'm like, does Sony only hire Tom Holland to swing from things in movies?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's no matter what he does.
They must have taken like the segment from the third game and were like, let's make a movie out of this.
That's kind of what it looks like, which I'm totally fine with. I'm good with that. Because that's something you can build on. Because he's young enough to play young Nathan Drake, but he's not so young that you couldn't come back in, 3 or 4 years and have like a more seasoned-ish looking Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Like you could definitely do this every couple of years and watch him grow into this. If they wanted to do it that way, they totally could.
Yeah.
But it's going to be December 18th of next year, which is if you're going to do a Christmas release date, do it next year because it's your 1 year break between when Disney owns Christmas for the next decade.
Yeah.
It is the next 8 years. Everything from 21 through 29. Disney owns Christmas because it's either Avatar or Star Wars.
Yeah.
And if you think Disney is not going to push Avatar to the freaking moon.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it's coming out on Christmas. It's Avatar in 21, Star Wars 22, Avatar, Star Wars, Avatar, Star Wars, Avatar.
Yep.
It's insane. It's madness. So get them out now. Because next year is West Side Story and the Cruella de Vil live action movie for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So Uncharted fits a nice spot right there. It's that Jumanji adventure, probably with some decent comedic elements, kind of fit in there.
Oh wow!
So that's gonna be good. We had a lot of trailers and posters that came out over the last couple weeks. We saw the Terminator Dark Fate trailer, which is very much just like, hey, everybody got old. That's basically what it was. It was just like everybody from Judgment Day got old. It's like, okay,
that's what it seems like.
Yeah. No John Connor anywhere to be found though, which I found interesting. I like that it looks like this movie is more about Sarah Connor, which is fine. I don't mind them trading, here's how the narrative shifted, because I don't care at this point.
Right.
It's like, just make a good movie. I don't give a damn about your continuity, because they don't. They're ignoring it. This is a sequel to T2. Nothing else.
I'm so confused by I couldn't tell you anything that happens after T2 because it's all so fucking confusing.
That's why they're just...
There's a robot who's good, who's bad, who's really John Connor. What? I even think like...
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No, and that's why I like that they're like, no, there was Terminator, there was Judgment Day, and now there's this. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
We had a trailer for Ad Astra, which just looks weird because it's Nolan and space and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, hey, whatever. It'll be big. It comes out in September. So it'll run fairly unopposed because it's at the end of the month, I think. Middle, end of the month, something like that. So, I mean, September's basically going to have 2 movies. It has It at the beginning and Ad Astra at the end. So,
oh, wow.
There was also the Rambo Last Blood trailer.
Yeah.
Which looks like Fatal Home Alone, more or less.
Oh, wow.
Except he's on a farm.
Okay.
It's They Came for Him. So
yeah.
Okay, and look, cool. I'll watch it. I will absolutely go watch it because it's Rambo, it's Stallone. I'm a sucker for these. I'm in. I don't have high expectations. I don't. But I'm fine with that. We got the poster for Wonder Woman 1984, which comes out in almost exactly a year. and it's colorful, to say the least.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I dug it. It's definitely eye-catching.
Yeah.
You're not gonna miss it anywhere. That's for sure. Sonic has officially been delayed until Valentine's Day 2020.
Okay.
That's how long it's going to take to redesign him in a way that people are still going to hate.
Yeah. I saw the goofy one that people were spreading around saying it was real. I think like Complex or something posted like, "Oh man, wait till people get a load of this one. Have you seen it?"
No.
Oh, it's bad.
I'm sure it is.
It's not real, but
no, but it's
the amount of people who thought it was real.
It's
it's clearly like some guy in a latex outfit, almost looking. Oh man, it's
stuff like that drives me nuts because it's the same thing of like how many people just the other day. I saw so many people who shared the thing of like Scarlett Johansson's going to play Morticia Addams in the next Addams Family movie. And I was just like, this thing went around like 5 years ago. And it was an April Fool's joke then.
Oh,
like,
you're right.
But it was like, I was like, and by the way, there's an animated movie that comes out this year. And Charlize Theron is voicing her in this one. And it's like, just a quick Google search. That's all it takes.
You know who should play her?
Who?
Like a young, very young version of her?
Who?
Sophie Turner.
I've heard that and I've seen that, and
I saw the image of her like dressed up for like Halloween, and I thought, yep, that's it.
Yeah. Addams Family Begins.
Yeah, exactly. How they met.
Look.
I'll send you the Sonic. It's more like what's the meme version of Sonic or something?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to send it like 8 times. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I cursed you. Oh my god, it sent it like 20 times. I'm so sorry.
It keeps
I don't know how that happened.
Seriously, how many times you 1, 2, 3, 4?
All I did was hit return and it wouldn't go, so I hit.
You did. You sent it 8 times. Like that's just horrifying.
I'm so sorry.
God,
they shared that, and people legit thought that was the redesign.
It looks like one of the designers from Avatar went over to Sega and was like, "Look, I have a terrible idea."
Yeah, and here's the thing: like the guy who did this artwork, apparently he's like a really good artist. He does like DeviantArt or whatever. But he did this, I think, as a joke. Obviously, like a joke, but they took it, ran with it. We're like, no, look at the redesign. Silly. But hey, take as long as you want. If you're going to redesign it, if you're gonna change it, I'd rather the artist not be, be forced to work, a million, 20 hours a day to get this done in the amount of time it needs to be done. So take your time, do whatever. I don't think it was needed. I don't think you're going to make that much money.
I don't think this is going to help all that much. I think at the end of the day, it's going to wind up costing them more money than they would. Like
exactly.
It's going to be like, here's the baseline of how many people were going to go see it before.
Yeah.
And then slightly above that is going to be the line of how many people will see it with a better redesign. But the gap between those two will not be as big as how much it will cost them to do this redesign. No way.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but we'll come back to character redesigns in a bit on the other side of the coin. But we also have Harrison Ford saying Indiana Jones 5 is going to start filming next year. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully they can just keep him from flying between now and then. Be great.
Yeah.
And away from any big closing doors.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
yeah.
Anyhow. And I think that pretty much does it for the movie news. We've got a lot of odd and interesting and some good TV news. John Rogers, who's working on the King Killer Chronicle series, that's going to be like the prequel to the books, tweeted out he is done with like the first draft of the entire first season.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I always like seeing that there's progress being made.
Oh, yeah.
That's what makes me crazy about the movie. We know nothing about what's happening at all.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, there's work being done. Okay, can you give us any kind of update? And it's just crickets. It's like, makes me crazy. I don't need here's a premiere date. Here's when the pilot starts. It's just, hey, look, I'm done with this. Like I am done with season 1. Now I have to go back and revise and edit and do this and that. But the rough draft is in the can. Yay, progress, work being done.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. And I guess because SpongeBob is getting too old now, Nickelodeon is doing a prequel show about 10-year-old SpongeBob. It's going to be called Camp Coral.
Okay.
And sure, why not?
Yeah, kids are going to love it.
In the same animated vein, DreamWorks is doing a Jurassic World show for Netflix.
About time.
It's going to be called Camp Cretaceous because we're going to have a theme here.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, though. It's kids who didn't make it off the island after the first Jurassic World.
Okay.
They got stranded on the island, and they have to survive. This does not sound like a DreamWorks animated children's show to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, kids are going to love this, man. Kids love dinosaurs. I would have loved a Jurassic Park animated series as a kid. It's been great.
I mean, okay. The interesting bit of this news, though, is the Magic the Gathering series that's going to happen on Netflix. It's also going to be animated. It's going to be based around the Planeswalkers and that side of the lore and all of that.
Yes.
It's going to be written by Henry Gilroy, who did a lot of Star Wars Rebels. And Jose Molina, who did some of The Tick and Agent Carter. But the executive producers are what are obviously the big selling point for this. It's the Russos.
Yeah.
This whole confluence of like somebody from Star Wars, somebody from The Tick, and the Russo brothers overseeing all of this, yes please.
Oh yeah, there's great talent all over the place. I've never played Magic Gathering. I totally would if I had someone near me. Thinking about picking up the app game or whatever. Oh man, if any of these are on the Switch, I'd be on it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, if they put Arena on the Switch, I would be there because it's PC only.
It's PC only, right? Yeah. Is it on the iPad at all?
Nope.
No,
it's PC only. It might be it might be Android, but it's not it's not Mac or OS.
Gotcha. I need to get a better phone because I want to play more Hearthstone and stuff like this.
Yeah.
But Magic the Gathering has a bazillion fans, of course. And it's got a ton of lore. It's basically Dungeons and Dragons. It's a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, a lot of magic.
Yeah.
That's all you really need to know going into it. I'm sure everything's explained up front, but all of this good talent that's exactly what it needs.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw the Wheel of Time series. I saw some rumors that was it Rosamund Pike?
Okay.
She was from Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Is in talks to play one of the characters in Wheel of Time. It's been all over the
interesting. That's a big
Geek news.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So which would be awesome. Moraine, I believe, is she's up for. Which if you've never read Wheel of Time, she's essentially she's a big part of the story. She's almost like I don't know without saying anything. She's I don't know. She's powerful, so she's awesome. So that would be a huge get if they got her. Because obviously that's a series that Amazon will want for a long time because there's a bazillion books. There's 14, I think. Yeesh. Yeah. I'm going through that as well. I'm actually almost done with the first book, going on to the second one. I'm excited. I need to stop picking up other books on audiobooks and at the bookstore because it's all so distracting. But yeah, so no, that was cool, man. Fantasy, man, there's going to be so many fantasy shows in the next 5 years.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, we got Stranger Things at the end of the month. Or next month.
Beginning next month.
Yeah. I saw some Burger Kings are selling Whoppers upside down, and I was thinking, well, you just turn it upside down?
Hey, you know what? It's something. I don't think there's a price difference, is there?
No.
Yeah, so, I mean, why the hell not? Doesn't hurt anybody.
Well, no, I was just thinking, would they just flip the Whopper upside down? It just handed somebody. Isn't that an upside down Whopper? I don't know.
I just wonder, like, did they do that, or did they just like put the bottom bun on top and the top bun on bottom before they flipped it? You know.
And you know what? It actually makes more sense to have the top bun on the bottom. You're absolutely right, by the way.
So that it's the same. Like they put the Whopper together the same, but they put it together on top of the top bun, and then they put the bottom bun on top and then flip it.
Right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And that's smart. That's how that's how Whoppers should be done to begin with, because you have more bread at the bottom of that way.
That's true.
You're holding it. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, there's so much fantasy. We got Stranger Things. We got The Witcher. Gods and Monsters.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Not Gods and Monsters. I'm sorry. The Omens. What is it?
Good Omens.
Good Omens. That's it. Yeah. And then of course Lord of the Rings. I watched the Fellowship of the Ring the other day, the extended edition.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so I'm going through those. Yeah, I need a fix. Once Game of Thrones is over with, I can't just go back to episode 1. I guess I could, but I don't. I want to give it some time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Before I revisit it, and Lost is calling my name. I don't know. I Battlestar Galactica. I watched an episode or two. But I need a series to dive back into.
That's one. Battlestar is one that I dip my toe back in every once in a while, but I can get away from it as long as I don't go, like, if I just do like an episode or two at a time, it doesn't claw its way back in. But if I sit down and do like 4, 5, 6 in a row, I'm just done. Like, I then have to finish watching the show.
Yeah.
I can't not.
Oh yeah, and the problem with all this is I'm just like, I need a fantasy game to play now. I need this to do that. And I don't know. My a friend of mine actually invited me to play Dungeons and Dragons next week.
Nice.
So I've never done that. That
nice.
Should be interesting. Yeah, she's like, you got to make a character. You got to do this. So I've been frantically looking at things, and I get so sidetracked on YouTube because I'm like, what's a mind flayer? Let's look into this.
Yeah, it's arguably the worst way to do that. It's one of those things where it's
I learned the hard way.
It's like it's the best way and the worst way, and it's terrible.
Oh yeah, and then I saw these videos of who was it? Sophie, what's her name's husband? Joe. What's his last name? What's his name?
Joe Manganiello. Is that who you're looking for?
That's it. Yeah, he's like Deathstroke at the end of Justice League. He's a total nerd. He has like a whole D&D like basement.
Nice.
Go on YouTube and look up his. He does like D&D Weekly with like the Big Show, and a bunch of other people. And I'm just like, that sounds so awesome.
Because I know like Up Down Down has one that they do too.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that out then.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, like Ember Moon like organized a Dungeons and Dragons game on.
That's awesome.
On Up Down Down. I forget like the name of the show or whatever. But I got into a thing where I was like, I need to watch. Oh, because there was the one that got crowdfunded. Remember, it got that crowdfunded series, like, spun off of it. I cannot for the life of me remember what it was called, and it's awful.
It was on YouTube?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't Critical Role, I don't think.
Critical Role's crowdfunding campaign for animated D&D?
That might have been it. Broke, like, every record imaginable.
Oh yeah, it raises $2 million in under 4 hours.
Yeah, so it was Critical.
Yeah, The Legend of Vox something.
Was it Vox Day? Vox Populi? Vox something? Shit.
Vox Machina.
Vox Machina, maybe.
Yeah. March. Yeah. Okay. Animated intro.
And that like kind of threw me. I was like, I should watch that because they created like a whole like the web series that they're basing this off of is massive. Critical Role's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And they built a whole huge thing. And then they did like a second season. And this animated series they're doing is actually a prequel to all of it.
Oh, okay.
But I had it not been so late that night, like I was starting to fall down a rabbit hole of like who all has done like a D&D web series.
Oh wow.
And I found that, and I found the one on Up Down Down, and there was like one or two more that actually like caught my eye. And and I fell asleep and just never went back to them. But that's a rabbit hole to fall down.
Oh yeah, no, I know Jesse Cox does one. He's funny. I like him. But yeah, so I'm doing that in about a week. They were like, "Don't worry, we got you." Just I was like, I'll look up stuff ahead of time to make sure I'm not completely clueless. But I'm gonna be clueless.
And as long as you've got a good group to play with, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, they're cool. So I'm excited. Should be fun, and of course I'll report back.
Nice, yeah, absolutely, you better.
So hopefully I don't die within the first roll.
Always a possibility. That's the thing.
I'm gonna
No
yeah.
ones, no ones.
Yep, exactly. So we'll find out. But dude, I have like actually 3 or 4 of these games I've gotten at conventions and stuff. I've never been able to play with people because there's no one around here.
Nice.
So I told them, I was like, hey, I'll just bring these, next time or whenever you guys want to play them. Because I need people to play with. So yeah, so that'd be cool. So that should be fun. I'm gonna look this up. Yeah. So man, when was this animated thing?
They started like they crowdfunded it. Was it earlier this year? I think.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
what it looks like.
and it's
Okay.
just like it's going into production, so it'll probably be, I think, like next year before it actually comes out.
2020 looks like, yeah, that's when they
Yeah.
imagined. Yeah, that's when it's gonna.
But the web series that they did, like, which was basically just them live streaming them playing D&D. It's just it's God, it goes back forever. It's a long ass thing to go through, but I wanted to start at the beginning and be like, okay, well, let's do this, and then it just never happened.
Oh yeah, well, Joe, that's what was so cool is it was Joe talking to not Steve Carell, Steve Colbert.
Okay.
And he was telling him how like his wife got him like a painting from a painter who did like all the D&D artwork, or like I forgot what books, Dragon Slayer books or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, and he got like one of the original artists to paint his character that he does in D&D for like the last however many years.
Oh God, nerd goals. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hardcore.
And it's Sophie, what's her face from, from Modern Family.
Sofia Vergara. Yeah.
Vergara. That's it. Yeah. So, I was like, well, that is nice. That's
fantastic.
That's awesome.
God, that's so cool.
Yeah. So that was cool. So yeah. So that should be fun. About a week or so. Yeah. But anyway, yep. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, Wheel of Time. Going through that. That should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on to the second book. I hear it just gets better, and then I hear it drops off after like the 5th book, but it comes back up.
It tends to be how big long series works. Like they're good for a few, and then they hit some doldrums, and then either they crater or they come back really strong.
That's what I imagine. Is you probably went into it thinking, okay, because the first one's very much like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Then I imagine when you get to the 3rd or 4th book, it's like, okay, where can we go from here? And that's probably where they try to do things that are different. I imagine, and that's so anyway, we'll see. But yeah, where were we? Video games. There we go.
Yeah. Speaking of weird games that nobody understands, Death Stranding got a new trailer, and
that's gonna be a fun game I watch on YouTube.
It's right. No kidding. Comes out November 8th though, so not as far away as I think people might have been anticipating. I was hoping for a holiday 19 release date, so it's boy, I don't know. I don't know, but
I don't know either. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
it's apparently about connecting cities in the United States that are not connected anymore, and it's a new type of game. The genre is Stranding, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's a walking simulator with phantoms and ladders. So
so we'll see. I'll look that up on YouTube. But okay.
It's gonna be weird. I mean, this is what happens when you unleash a mind like Kojima's. You're gonna get weird, like really weird. We saw that as Metal Gear went on, it got weirder and weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
And then, the idea of we're going to let him make a Silent Hill game. I was so excited for that because that was a perfect playground for weird. Oh my God. And then, of course, that didn't happen. And so then it was, well, he gets to make his own game now. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's one of those games that's going to be like, this is an amazing, holy crap, awesome thing that nobody is going to enjoy playing, I think.
Yep. Exactly.
It's going to be one of those, but it's going to be his own take on one of those. So good for him.
Yeah.
It's going to be so weird, but I'll wind up playing it at some point. I know I will.
Yeah.
But we also had a lot of like the pre-E3 stuff. Like we had the Pokemon press conferences and everything. Of course we had Go Home and Sleep, which I still cannot believe Pokemon Sleep is going to be a thing.
Yeah, I don't understand that
I
either.
still, like, that would have been a magnificent April Fool's prank.
Yeah.
And then to turn around and say, oh yeah, no, it's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
But instead to, like, hype it and do that way with the whole Go Plus Plus thing, which itself sounded like an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
I just, okay, sure, do your thing, whatever. Home sounds neat, though. The idea of, like, a more robust version of Pokemon Bank. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pokemon Masters will be an interesting game, whatever it turns out to be. And then we had the Direct, which talked more about Sword and Shield. It talked about the Galar region. It expanded a litlittle more on the idea of the wild area and all of that, which is going to add an interesting concept.
What's interesting about it is there's not random encounters as they used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought was interesting.
Yeah. And of course the limited Pokedex, which has people freaking out, which I understand for people who have played, like every Pokemon game and invested the time and the energy. I get it.
It's fun to fill the national Pokédex.
Yeah.
But I honestly think this is just an issue because the Dynamaxing, they probably just haven't been able to put every Pokemon that's ever existed in that Dynamax mode.
Because, I mean, the idea of Dynamaxing a Steelix, like, the scale of that freaks me out.
Right. And so this might be something they add in a later patch, or just might not be something they add at all. And if that's going to make you not purchase the game, well, come on. Okay. Fine. Pokemon will be fine without it. But
it's not going to lose anything. This is perfect for somebody like me who hasn't, who, like, I played the hell out of Silver, and then I fell off until Moon, and then I barely touched it.
Right.
So I have no objection to this at all. I understand why people are mad. I get it. And
most people don't carry over their Pokemon, especially from console to console. Like, I understand if this was going from one Switch game to another Switch game, sure. But this is the first Pokemon Switch game. Well, I guess it's not because there was the yellow.
There was Let's Go, yeah.
Let's Go, but I don't know. To me, that's not a deal breaker.
No,
whatsoever.
And I'm okay with the idea of, like, hey, the Dynamaxing is only for the Pokemon from this region.
Right.
I like that. I think that is a very sensible limitation to put on it. Like, well, what if
maybe that's what they do. The thing is the Pokemon, for example, it used to be Pokemon Bank.
Yeah.
Where you could transfer Pokemon over. That didn't work when those other games came out at first.
Yeah.
It was months later where they were like, okay, now you can use this.
Yeah.
Because they want you to catch the Pokemon there. They want you to trade with people. They don't want you to just bring everything over immediately. And I'll be fine with that. And I'll be fine if they never add the ability to it, because that's not what the game's about. The game's about catching them, catch everyone in the region, trade your friends that have the other version, and fill up that dex.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only one that really matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure they'll hear the complaints, and I'm sure they'll fix that moving forward. I would like to see them throw all of the classic games on the Switch. Throw Red, throw Yellow, throw Crystal. So many people would buy those just to play it on the Switch.
Yeah.
And then somewhere down the road, eventually have the ability for them to transfer those over.
Well, you have they've done a lot of those. Actually,
they've done it on the 3DS, not the Switch.
That's right. They're on 3DS. I keep getting. No, I was holding something in my hand and playing it, and I couldn't remember which one it was.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's all on the 3DS, and it's the most infuriating thing about the Switch is they don't have the Virtual Console.
Yeah.
It is baffling to me how much money they've lost in the last couple of years because they still refuse to put that on there.
Yeah.
It's the one knock I have against the system. It's the system I honestly play the most. It's the one that I'm going to go play more Zelda of. I already got 2 characters in Skyrim. I don't know how much time I should spend talking about that. I'll save you. I didn't know if I wanted to be an assassin. I didn't know if I wanted... anyway. That's a whole other thing. We'll get into E3 in a second, but good Lord. But yeah, I love the system, but man, I wish they had. I wish they had it there. But anyway, yeah. No, this is my most. This game I look forward to the most. At the end of the year, this and the Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Because it's Pokemon. This is going to be the one that I'll play for a whole year, on and off, on a lazy Sunday, catching Pokemon, seeing what I don't have, trying to find them, trading them. That's a great game, and I'm looking forward to it. But the fact that it's just because you can't bring over the other ones from the old one, that's fine. Most people don't care about that.
No, agreed.
No.
Definitely.
So anyway, what they should do is put the trading card game on the system.
Man,
cowards, let's do that.
And do the not even the Game Boy version, but the online version, the PC and Mac version. That one.
Yeah, the one you can do on the iPad. It would be perfect on the Switch. Man, there's so many card games that should be there. The only one that's actually coming to it is Lord of the Rings, which actually looks really fun. There's it's the Lord of the Rings living card game, and there's like quests and stuff you go on.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna invest real money into any of those, it's gonna be Hearthstone and it's gonna be Pokemon.
Yeah. No question.
And they won't for some. Oh man, I don't get it.
No, I guess maybe they're worried about how that might cut into the actual trading card game profits.
I don't know, man. There's literally other card games on the system that you use money to purchase things with.
I know.
There's nothing holding it back. I can't imagine anything holding it back. If there's other card games on the Nintendo that sell packs and do everything like Hearthstone, and same with the card game with Pokemon, what's difference is there? There's the Warhammer card game on there.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Is there an actual physical Warhammer card game too?
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking, is maybe they're thinking that if they do that and they make the online trading card game something available on the Switch, people will stop buying the actual physical trading card game.
But you do buy the physical card games for that game. So for example, if you go to Walmart right now and you buy a pack of cards, it comes with a card that you scan, and it gives you every one of those cards in the game.
Okay. Then I'm on your side on this. I see no downside here.
Yeah. Any of the packs you get, any of the bigger packs, anything you buy, Pokemon trading card game related, it has a thing you scan, and it scans right into the game.
Yeah, then I don't understand it either now.
Yeah, and you can of course buy packs in the game.
Sure.
And you get the digital versions, but you literally anything physical. That's what makes it so awesome.
Yeah.
And it makes me. That's what made me think. Oh man, now that's a rabbit hole that I am trying to avoid.
Yeah.
If I find one person that wants to play it again, I would start doing it. A buddy of mine ended up getting all of the original cards. He wanted to complete the collection, and then he found out that they re-released them, so he went and got those.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's such a fun game, and it's easy to pick up. I played with my friend Kid the other day, or maybe it was like a month or so ago, and he collected them, but he never really played them. So I showed him, and as I was showing him, I was like, wait a second, do we put them in this pile? No, like it was just a learning process for both of us. But it really gave me that itch. I downloaded it on my iPad. I played a few games. That's what's cool about the iPad or computer game is they throw a whole bunch at you at first, and you can play without having to purchase anything for a while.
Yeah.
And you can build your own decks that way. And the more you win, the more you play, the more you get. So anyway, but yeah. So where were we? Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny is gonna go big, and I think this is a result of things they wanted to do that Activision wouldn't let them.
Yeah,
because they're Activision. I think Bungie going full on, fully embracing the MMO model,
right, and
using Destiny 2 as the base for, like, here's how this world is going to work going forward, and even having their free to play base version of it is called Destiny 2 New Light. And it's cross-save to everything. Everywhere. And
Well, from what I hear is, and this is what I thought, wait a second, that's not what I heard in the conference, is that you can move a character from the PlayStation to the PC once. And that's their idea of cross-save.
Really?
Yeah.
What
No,
an-
I tried to find that elsewhere. It was on the Giant Bomb podcast. And that's why I was like, oh, that's a little deflating.
But couldn't find it anywhere else?
No, I couldn't find it anywhere else. Well, this was behind the scenes where they talked to them.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, could you go into more detail with what you said? And that was it.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. Because I'd love to be able to boot up my PlayStation, and suddenly I have my character from or my PC, and I suddenly have my character from my PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then turn it off, and then turn on my kind of like you would do with what
Stadia,
Fortnite,
basically.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have looked up more information on that. But yeah, no, I once I heard that, tried to look up more, and I couldn't find it.
Huh.
Yeah, it kind of took my wins out of my sails with that. Also, Stadia version won't feature crossplay.
Well, there's a shock.
Yeah.
I don't imagine Stadia playing nice with anybody.
Yeah.
I think Stadia is just going to be focused on its own platforms. Why should we work with consoles? You can take us anywhere.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it is a fair point.
Now, here's the thing, is this was just PlayStation. Apparently, again, it wasn't going to be PlayStation at all right before this happened. It was the day before they got on the EA stage that the PlayStation was like, okay, we cave. We'll allow you to do it. So Xbox, you were going to be able to do it. PC, you were going to be able to do it, but not PlayStation.
Yeah, Sony really needs to stop trying to cram their heads back up their asses when it comes to crossplay. Like, it's annoying now. It's done. They've lost this battle. They wanted to be exclusive forever, and the world said that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And they've caved before, and they need to just accept it. Like, it's over. It's done. Free to play stuff. This, like, Fortnite, Destiny. If it's a free to play game, you should be able. I understand if it's like this game you buy on a particular console. Fine. I don't have a problem with. But if it's free to play across every platform, there's no reason there's nothing holding the saves there.
Right.
There's no logical reason for it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But, that's a battle for another day, I think.
Yep. No, again, I take with what I said a grain of salt. I hope I'm completely wrong about that.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, really.
Yeah. Because I would love that. I'd love to be able to just save and then go on the other system and save. But like even with like for example, I have Diablo 3 on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's not connected to the BattleNet for some reason.
Huh.
And I think they intentionally did that. Now I don't know if you have to be online all the time with the Switch for Diablo, but I'm thinking that's why they didn't have that connection there. Because I would have loved to have been able to sign in Diablo on my Switch and be like, oh, there's all my characters.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it's not connected to my PlayStation / PC characters.
That's unfortunate.
Yep. But Diablo's a fun game, man. That's when you just veg out on the couch and be like, let's kill some demons. Yeah. Yeah, they did a huge sale on the Switch games over the weekend, and I probably shouldn't have taken advantage of it, not knowing what was coming up. Whatever. Yeah, that kind of kicked me in the ass, but anyway.
Yeah,
Yep. But
and if Diablo's your thing, the next Darksiders game is right up your alley. Then.
Oh yeah.
Darksiders Genesis looks like it basically just looks like a Darksider a Diablo playing Darksiders game.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine, cool, whatever, do your thing. It's it's certainly a different way to look at it, which I appreciate.
And speaking of those kind of games, Torchlight 2 is coming to consoles this fall.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's coming to Switch, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Torchlight 2, essentially Diablo clone, but it's probably the one that people know the most that's like Diablo 3. Because it's really good. It's super good.
Nice.
And so that's cool that it's coming to the to consoles, which is awesome. And I think it's like $20. Look it up. Yeah, Torchlight 2. If you're into Diablo, you probably already know about it. But if you're not and you've only seen Diablo gameplay, if I showed you gameplay of Torchlight 2, you'd be like, oh, that's Diablo. That's like a level, right? But yeah, anyway, so it's really cool. Good stuff. More games like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we've got all the different free stuff this month. I'll tell you what, PlayStation Plus has a good month. They're doing Borderlands: The Handsome Collection, which is Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, and they also have Sonic Mania, which I approve.
Oh yeah,
that's a good duo this month. I like it. I like it a lot. Xbox games with gold. The big one for Xbox this month is NHL 19, which is a far cry from Borderlands and Sonic Mania. Rivals of Aether is the half-month game, June 6th through July 15th. Pick that up. So today, go pick it up. The Xbox, the backwards compatible games were Portal, still alive version of it. Was the 1st through the 15th. Can't get that one anymore. And Earth Defense Force 2017 is for the second half of the month. Not a bad pairing. But I think given that NHL 19 is included with EA Access, it just kind of blunts it a little bit, I think. At least for me. It's not Xbox has had a good couple of months. They were bound to have one that wasn't great. Because Sony has had a couple. Sony's coming on the rebound now. Like they had the last couple months where it was like, I think arguably the biggest one they've had in the last couple months was Modern Warfare Remastered. So that tells you something. But not a bad lineup all the way around, but I definitely was more excited about the PlayStation offerings this month.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Some great offerings. So we have a ton of E3 news.
Yeah.
Holy cow. You just want to do through conference by conference?
Sure.
All right.
I started with Square Enix on the list just because they kind of fired first, really. They I know they were the last conference, but they had their little orchestral performance where they went, oh, hey, by the way, here's part of a new Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer, and it comes out March 3rd. Have a good night. We'll tell you more later. And everybody just went, hold, what? Stop. Come back here.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. And then, that was how they opened their conference was here's Final Fantasy. It was like, holy shit, here we go. And it's more, it's the 15 style in a way, which I'm fine with. I don't, some people are mad. I don't care. I think this is better. I think this is going to be more enjoyable. This is going to get more people into this game. It's a new way for people like many of us who have played this countless times to enjoy it and to see how much has changed. The spirit of so much of it is still there, but the changes that they've made, I have zero problem with.
Yeah.
I am nothing but excited, even more so about this. And the fact that it's coming out in 9 months, yes. Like, just bring this on. I am absolutely ready for this. And again, they talked about, it's what's great is this part of it, because it does still seem like it's going to be episodic.
This is part 1.
Yeah, which is fine. It looks like it's going to be part 1, part 2, more or less. Like it's going to be Midgard and then everything else, in a way.
Right.
Which seems...
I honestly think it's going to be part 1 of 3.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 1 of 3. I
think the end of this would be the end of Midgar.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what that's kind of what they said, was like this. Okay. This is the story of Midgard, and it's 2 Blu-ray discs worth of material,
right?
Which is huge. Madness.
Right.
That's gigantic, and I am so excited. But I love the way that they fleshed out, like especially just like Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse. There's going to be so much more involvement with all these other characters. There's going to be so much more depth to the story. There's going to be just a ton more to explore. And I'm excited. I'm so super excited for this.
Oh yeah, no. Final Fantasy is one of the series I always wish I got into, but I never did.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I own them on a million consoles. I try to play through them, and I don't know what happens. I get lost. But that's like most things, I guess. I just have total ADD when it comes to playing these kind of games. I can't wait for this. I am curious. It's coming at a curious time because next year is when it's releasing, right?
Yeah.
Next year we hear about the new consoles.
Yeah.
So do we wait for it to get it on the new console? Is this a launch title for the new console?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because nobody's going to wait that long. Nobody wants to wait that long. We have waited long enough.
No, but I mean, do you think they release it in, was it March, right?
Yeah.
And then they release it again with the PlayStation 5 version in holiday season.
I think that's
kind of like they did with The Last of Us or whatever.
That's a possibility, sure. And I don't mind that. I don't hold that against anybody who's going to release a game in the next year and then do a version for the next console as well. I don't mind that. That makes perfect sense, and it's up to people whether or not they're going to wait for it. That's on us as consumers to say, do we really want it now or do we want to wait? Because this is probably what's going to happen. And then
I guess my next question is, when does the second one release? Does it release in a year from now? 10 years from now?
It can't be. It can't. 2 years is the absolute longest they could wait.
I saw at the show, they don't even know how long it's going to be.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I don't like that. I know this is going to be like a full game's worth of material, but it's not the full game, and we all know it.
Oh yeah.
We know that this is not the end of the story, but so I don't like that. I don't like that. I like the idea of them saying they don't know. I'm okay with that because to me that just stinks of BS.
That's what they told Jason Schreier.
Yeah.
And I was just like, ooh, that's.
I don't believe that for a second. I think that's one of those statements they can make because they don't have an exact release date. So they can say, yeah, we don't know how long it's going to take because they may not have a window, but I'm sure they have a deadline. I'm sure they have here's where this should be out by.
I'm also sure they're waiting to see, like, we all know it's going to sell like Game Busters.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
The last Final Fantasy didn't do as well as I thought it would do.
No, but there's not, because 15 was versus 13, which was supposed to be a PS3 launch title.
Right.
Let us not forget this. And it underwent development hell for a decade and change before it finally came out. So they were like, hey, this is a new Final Fantasy game. How is this going to be? Blah, blah, blah. This is different. You can't look at 15 and say, how is 7 going to do compared to... No, you can't do that.
I agree, but I'm just looking at the company. I mean, they lost millions of dollars last year because of that.
Yeah, they're going to make it back on this. I will guarantee you.
Let me see if I can pull it up. I remember reading an article where it was... Square reports losing 33 million loss. And I think they pointed directly at the success of Final Fantasy 15, and it didn't do what they thought it would do, which is why now they've canceled all the DLC. Everything's done with it. That's what I'm afraid of, and I know they won't do that. I know they won't. I would hate for the Final Fantasy 7 Part 1 come out, and then something happen, or they're like, we're gonna go in a different direction, and it never get finished.
The reason that won't happen with this. Go back to when this was announced, like 3 years ago.
Ooh, it was more than that. You're being generous.
I think it was 3. I think it was 2016.
Let's see here. I think it was announced right when the it says 1997. That's not right.
That was the. It feels like it, but.
Yeah. I don't know. 2014.
God, was it 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And it was at E3 2014, really?
Yeah.
Wow, damn. So I repeat, go back to when this was announced and listen, but just listen to the roar The roar from that crowd tells you everything you need to know.
No, I get it. This is their Star Wars.
Yes.
I totally get that.
The only way this fails is if it sucks. If they make this game half as good as people expect it to be, then it's a home run, and they will make buku money, and they damn well better make the next part in a hurry.
Yeah, no, that's what I think they should do. We should get part 2 in a year or two, and I know it's not going to happen, but that is what I hope they can do.
It needs to not be longer than 2 years. There is a limit to, like, our patience runs thin with these things. I mean, look at Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, they made money on that. Yeah, it was worth the wait, and the anticipation was part of it, but you can't do that again. And especially on something like this, where we know it's going to be multi-part. But so you can't say, you know, it's going to be you said 2014, right? It's going to be 6 years since it was announced until the first part of it actually comes out. You can't do that again. Like, you can get away with 2. I'll give you 2. But that's it. It starts taking longer than that. You got a problem.
They have to, because I mean, I know, like, Tomb Raider bombed.
It was unfortunate too.
Yeah, there was a lot of unfortunate things that just did not sell. And Square Enix is one of the better studios. Like, they've been killing it.
Yeah, because Tomb Raider was fantastic. Like, Tomb Raider was a damn good game, but it just didn't come together for him, I guess. But this is a license to print money, so long as they deliver on the quality, and it looks like they are. And I don't believe for a second that if they're like, we have no idea when this is going to come out, they have a window, they have a time frame, they know.
Yeah.
But it's going to be massive, and it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah. Yep. Well, absolutely. 100%. Be getting that game when it comes out. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler, another Square Enix game, which if you haven't played it, good lord, go play it if you want to Switch. And if you have a computer, you can play it now on Steam.
Yep. This is the, like, Square Enix's was kind of like their big return to old school RPGs.
Yes,
Octopath
awesome.
was a masterpiece. I never played much. I did get the demo. I did play some of it, and it's because the thing with me in JRPGs is I have to be in a place where I'm just going to sink into it.
Yes,
and it's worth it. It's for one like this in particular. I could guarantee you it's going to be worth it.
Oh yeah, I'm on the 4th character now. There's 8 of them, but it's one of those where, like, you don't just get the characters. And you level them up, you level their gear up, you level everything up. Then you find out there's a weapon over in that guy's land that you can only get at level 44. So now I'm trying to work. Yeah, it's insane.
Yep.
But yeah, it's one of those old school JRPGs, and if you're looking at the new Final Fantasy game and you're like, oh, that's too action paced, what happened? Go play this.
Yeah.
They made this for you. It is a love letter to those games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was hoping actually we'd hear about Octopath Traveler 2, but
no,
I guess not.
They've got enough irons in the fire right now.
Right,
Let them.
Right. Oh yeah, exactly. Well, okay. So this last Remnant remastered, or last Remnant remastered.
The last Remnant remastered. It was a game they made. They remastered it. It's out now.
I don't know anything about that.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but this next one I am excited for.
Dragon Quest Builders 2 comes out July 12th, and yeah, this got a huge pop.
Dude, the game is so much fun. Like, so many people I've told about this game, and they're like, nope, that's not for me. That does not look like it's for me. I'm not into Minecraft. I'm not into Dragon Quest. There's no way I would enjoy that game, but it is so good. It is such a good checkbox game. There's so much stuff to do in the first one, dude. Like, it is insane. Have you ever played the first one? I
haven't. They looked interesting to me. I am one of those people who's like, I stay well away from that stuff. But I was hearing everybody who was like, no, it's don't let that put you off of it. So it was
exactly.
It was just a matter of I just never got into it.
Go watch like the Giant Bomb streams of it, stuff like that. Don't go like YouTube. Don't you don't have to dive too deep into the Let's Players, but go to like Giant Bomb and stuff like that. They do a really good job showing you what the game's about, and the questing. That's really what it is. It's like you're thrown into a world, you have a bunch of quests, and then you're kind of taken out of it, and then you're thrown back in, and you're giving another quest line, and it's hard to explain, but it's heavy on the questing and the building the town and defending the town, and this one just looks like it's that on another level. It's so hard to explain without just you seeing what it is, and I believe there's a demo if I'm not mistaken.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Dragon Quest Builders demo. There might be a demo for the first one on the Switch. There's a demo on the PlayStation 4. Highly go recommended. This was on. I remember it was on the Vita. That was the last game I purchased on the Vita. Was the original Dragon Quest Builders from a few years ago.
That's fair.
But yeah, man, that I'm definitely getting that. That's going to be sinking some time into. And the next one as well, Dragon Quest. What is it, 11?
Yeah.
Huge JRPG on the Switch. This is another big one. And this is kind of like we were talking about earlier. This is where the Final Fantasy series went more towards action, and the Dragon Quest was the other big Japanese JRPG that stayed more traditional.
Okay.
So it's the more traditional JRPG with the turn-based system. This has already been out on the PlayStation already and the Xbox,
yeah.
But it's now coming to the Switch. Well, a cool feature I saw that they're doing with this one and this one alone is where you can jump between the 16-bit version and the regular version.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, which is neat. But yeah, that's going to be good. These are all too close together. They need to be way spread out. Maybe like August or something.
Yeah. They showed a game called Circuit Superstars, which is a top-down, looked like a dual stick racer, which I don't think there are enough of. I love racing games like this. And it looked almost cartoony. Like it wasn't. It was realistic, but it had that kind of polish on it. I really like that.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. That'll be neat.
Yeah.
They talked about the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC coming out later this year.
Okay.
I'm going to start this game at some point. I swear it. I did, man. I got it when it came out. I pre-ordered it. I got the final mix so that I could play everything before that, and I did. And then I got to Kingdom Hearts 3, and I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah. Man.
It is on my list. I'll get there. Final Fantasy.
You played all of them up to Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Was it one of those like you just needed a break from it?
I think maybe.
You burned yourself out before you got to the third one.
Well, because I was done like after 3 had come out. Like I wasn't in a hurry. Like I have to get this done before it releases. It's like no, I've got these. I've got plenty of time. It's going to take me plenty of time. I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I guess by the end of it, I was like, okay, I don't know. Something happened. Something else came up. Something else came out or something. I forget. But I was like, and I'm gonna do this, and then that never happened.
Yeah.
But I will get there one day. I want to, because I want to finish this damn saga. But
yeah.
But they talked about the Shadowbringers expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. That's cool for the people who play that. It's a fairly large community. I keep forgetting. That's a big MMO.
Yeah.
They talked about War of the Visions, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which was a spin-off from Brave Exvius. So I can't keep track of these. There's too many of these, like, just here's this spin-off of this and that and the other thing, and I'm just like, sure, man, knock yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
There was one of the Crystal Chronicles games was talked about too, and I was like, all right, sure, or Mystic Quest or Adventures or something else, and I was like, sure, go for it, have fun.
Yeah.
Whichever one you guys are, do your thing. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Outriders got a trailer. Looks badass. Summer 2020. They showed a remastered version of Final Fantasy VIII. And let's not forget their idea of remastering is, to kind of polish some of the edges, pretty much.
Yeah.
I love Square to death, but how many different Final Fantasy VII remasters did we have that didn't really change anything?
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, this looks like another one of those, but I'm a sucker for 8. I will buy it.
Well, the funny thing about this one is like, wasn't like the not the rumor, but wasn't it like they lost the file, like Square couldn't find the original game.
Things like that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, like that they lost the source code or something like that. That's what I can't forget if that's what like the rumor was, but obviously they were able to figure it out
Sure.
because that was the one game they left off the Switch. When they were like, here's all the remasters. They went through like every number and left 8 out, and then for whatever reason now they were able to add it back in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's hard to tell. It's possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
And then they bookended their conference with their other big announcement. They finally talked about Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
They showed the trailer. They spoiled the plot twist. They said all the DLC will be free. There will be PlayStation exclusive content because Square remembers where their bread is buttered.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to come out May 15th of next year.
Yeah. And if you go on Amazon, you can get the beta code now.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yep.
And this is the other side of the coin. We talked about the Sonic redesign earlier. People came out and were very, very mad that these Avengers did not look like the Avengers. And Square came back and said, yeah, it's kind of the point.
Right.
They're like, this is not that universe. These are not exactly those characters. I have my issues with the designs, but they are their designs. I don't mind them.
Right.
My biggest thing is I don't like Cap's whole riot gear look. That's way too bulky for me.
I think that makes sense.
I mean, I get it, but it's too crossbones.
Yeah.
There's just too much going on there.
None of that even concerns me. I'm concerned about what the actual game is, because if it sounds like it's going to be Anthem with Marvel characters, and that's not what I want to play.
I'm okay with that, actually. I don't mind that.
I'm so over these live game services.
It doesn't seem, the story is not going to be that. The story mode is not going to be, there's not going to be co-op in the story mode. So I don't.
Right. There's going to be I don't know. It just looked, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I want from an Avengers game, actually. Now that I think about it.
Exactly. That was my thought going into it, too. Was like, I don't know what I want, but I just want something good.
I kind of wanted what it was originally supposed to be, which was basically a Left 4 Dead, but with, instead of the 4 characters from Left 4 Dead, it was like the 4 Avengers.
Yeah.
And so it was like a first-person shooter, and every person had like kind of their own ability. Like the Hulk was a big, behemoth, and Iron Man was shooting, and now it seems it's kind of like that, but they're like, how can we make money on this? Oh, let's make it a live for game services so that you have to purchase like skins and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm okay with the way they're talking about microtransactions because it's the way that it ought to be, which is purely cosmetic. And I'm
still waiting to find out what it actually is, though. Because we've heard that a million times with a million different companies. There's always a catch that, when the Star Wars came out, it's not going to be like the last game, and
that was
they had
bullshit.
Loot boxes.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then now it's there's no loot boxes, we promise you. And then we get it, and it's like, oh, by the way, the only way to change your look is to buy these costumes.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with the Marvel heroes, is they were like, oh, yeah, sure, you can get gear in the game, but it doesn't change the way you look.
Yeah.
If you want Miles Morales, you have to purchase the skin. So I'm hesitating. I don't know why. If I was Square, I would have put Marvel at the very beginning, and I would have put Final Fantasy at the very end.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would have flipped it too.
Because Final Fantasy was like, we got gameplay, we got everything.
We got an extended badass trailer of badassness. Like, I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah. The Marvel stuff, it was like, we didn't get, they just got up there and just talked about how great the Avengers were, and then we got to watch the voice actors, awesome voice actors, totally top-notch voice actors, but it was like what they think the characters are. These characters we've seen for years.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we know who these characters. I don't know. I would have rather seen gameplay. I would have rather a good explanation of what the game is. And I feel like I just had to scramble afterwards to try and find out what it was. And when I heard, I was like, oh God, I don't know. So I'm patiently waiting. We've talked about this before. I love Destiny. I love the idea of Destiny. What would have made Destiny even better was like a good story, or if it was like Star Wars or something. Like, to me, if it was like a franchise that I could grasp onto.
Yeah.
And Marvel is that.
Yeah.
So if they can pull it off, awesome. And maybe that's what Anthem was missing, but it just seemed like, man, if a studio like BioWare can't do it, I don't know.
Well, let's be real though. That was not BioWare's fault. That was EA's fault.
No, it wasn't their fault. I'm just saying, I'm afraid that's what this is. Is Square trying? I don't know.
I think if BioWare had been allowed to make Anthem without EA constantly sticking their head in it,
I don't think they wanted to make Anthem at all.
That's also fair. That's also a fair point.
I think I read that they wanted to do the next KOTOR.
Yeah.
Which, man, how much would that have sold if they did KOTOR 3? You know, EA would have EA'd it up though. There would have been a bazillion loot boxes, but imagine a giant single-player Star Wars game like that.
But I would have loved to have seen BioWare put their foot down on it and say, no, we built these franchises. You need to just back the hell off. Because that's kind of what Respawn did when it came to Apex. They said, you know what? No, we got this. Go away.
Yeah, but
it also didn't hurt that EA was so focused on Anthem. They looked at Apex and said, yeah, you guys do your thing, whatever. It'll be free. Go have fun, whatever. We don't care. This is our baby. And then look at which one lost them a bunch of money and which one made them a bunch of money.
No, that's true. But I mean, I have to imagine that studio is over there looking at, you know, who's the studio now that's making the new Baldur's Gate, you know, game. And the giant single-player game, story-driven, that studio's not going to put any loot boxes in it. And the amount of, you know, and that was the game that Stadia pushed up and said, here's the game we're going to be releasing on our system.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, a giant D&D single-player game. You know, and the people who did Divinity Original Sin 2, which there is 0 loot boxes in.
Yeah.
And I imagine if you're BioWare going, hey, that's our franchise, we're over here collecting dust, just getting shit on because of some game EA had to push through us. Oh, man. This is why I'm kind of nervous about Microsoft buying all of these studios to make games. If they don't do good, what happens to them?
No, I look at Microsoft doing it the way that Sony did it. Sony bought up a bunch of studios and then let them make games, and they made damn good ones.
True. I guess I just get nervous.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think.
But you're right. Everything Microsoft is saying is on point. You know.
I mean, look at Psychonauts 2. You don't buy Double Fine so that you can tell them what to do, because Tim Schafer will tell you to blow it out your ass.
Right.
Tim has no qualms about that, as we know.
Yeah.
So you don't make a commitment to purchase a studio so that you can take it over. You do it because you want the exclusives, because you know they're going to make good games that people are going to want to play, and you want to say the only place to play them is on Xbox.
No, you're right. You know, and everything Phil Spencer has said, and I keep bringing up Giant Bomb. Please go listen to their interview with Phil Spencer afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's everything he says is exactly what I want to hear. And, you know, when the next gen comes, I will 100% have an Xbox.
Yeah.
No matter what PlayStation does, I'm sure we'll all own PlayStation as well, but there is no doubt in my mind that they have got me from day one. Especially with the stuff they're offering, the Game Pass, all that stuff, it is the perfect place to play those kind of games.
Yep.
And if they spend a lot of money to get a lot of studios, so that when, you know, that's going to be the perfect time for when the next gen comes out and they come out on stage and they're like, hey, we got 16 games. That's awesome. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I have more trust in Microsoft for sure, but EA just they can't get out of their own way.
How horrifying is that to say who do we trust more, Microsoft or EA? And to have it overwhelmingly be Microsoft is a little
It's
frightening.
insane.
It's a little terrifying.
It's crazy. And not too long ago, EA wasn't that bad, but now it's just, I hate what they've done with BioWare. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's painful. It's absolutely painful.
yeah. And it's just, these, I don't know, man. And we'll get into, oh man, we'll get into, um, God, why did my mind just go? But we'll get into Bethesda in just a moment. But Bethesda is just I don't know what to say about them. We'll get into them in a little bit, but it's this I see the path all of these big studios are going. The studios that I used to be like, I will buy anything from them because they put time and quality and they're for the person, for the art, and obviously they want to sell games, but it used to be you make a game like Skyrim and it sells a bazillion copies and you're happy. But now it's like, well, how do we sell a game like that and then constantly make money off somebody?
Yeah.
Because now just selling a game is not good enough.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm afraid all these studios are going. Sorry, why am I going on about this? This is Square Enix. They're doing pretty good. You know, they're not like that yet. I'm hesitant with the Marvel stuff because I'm curious.
That's why, because we're worried about what's going on with the Avengers game.
Yes. And I'm hesitant. I saw that Ant-Man was at the very end. I was like, okay, that's cool. I want to see them branch out because I was like, okay, that's cool. It's got like the first 5, however many Avengers, maybe Hawkeye. They said down the road, but you know, when they start adding Spider-Man and X-Men to that, and I was like, okay, now we're talking. Because I don't know. Anyway, so that's Square Enix.
Yeah, and I mean Bethesda. What did Bethesda announce other than like Doom Eternal has a release date that I forgot to write down?
Oh, dude,
because I didn't even watch it because I thought, what do they have to offer? And it turned out to be nothing. So
they should have never had. Dude, they should have never had a show this year. This was, you know, they get up there and they start joking and laughing about essentially how much they know Fallout 76. They screwed up with it.
Okay.
And they never apologized. They just said, you know, we know this is not the game that you guys wanted, basically. Then they basically started talking about how they were going to add all these features to it, like quests and consequences
that
and
have to be
things you've seen in every other Bethesda game that's ever existed that's on that scale.
That have to be added to a Fallout game a year later.
Bethesda is doing the same shit that Blizzard did last year at their conference when they thought they could come out on stage and talk about Doom Eternal. The only thing that, here's the difference though. Bethesda did this in an audience with all of their people up front, where Blizzard had fans in the audience that were asking real questions or making jokes. But we're honestly like, wait a second. I flew here from across the country to thinking that we're going to get an announcement of a new game, and you come up here and you tell us about a mobile game that is family friendly called Diablo Immortal, and there's no items that you can show us. Is this a joke? And obviously, you know, that was the Blizzard thing last year.
Yeah.
But this is the same kind of mentality I'm seeing with Bethesda, where it's like they come up there and they show Blades, Elder Scrolls Blades, which is a free-to-wait game. Yeah, so if you have a phone, don't download it, but it's called Elder Scrolls Blades. Well, hey, go download, do whatever you want, but if it's essentially and when they get up on stage, they talk about how, and they talked about this last year, by the way. This isn't a new thing. They announced it last year.
No, I remember.
Yeah, and they said how it is this is a Skyrim. This is as good as, you know, this is, I forgot what verbiage they used, but it was all bullshit. It was all how this does brand new things, and it's a free to wait game where you get in there, and if you want to build a house in your Skyrim town, you can wait a day, or you can pay $3. You want to do this? If you want to open loot boxes that you find in the world, you can wait 5 minutes, or you can pay $1.
Oh,
it's a free-to-wait game, and the big announcement for that was that it's coming to the Switch.
Cool. They said that last year.
No, they didn't say it was coming to the Switch last year. I don't think. They think they just said it was coming to mobile, like iOS and Android.
I think they said eventually it was going to be on Switch.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, that's what they made it seem like, that it was the big announcement for that game.
I don't remember exactly, but it seems to me like they talked about they were eventually going to put it on Switch.
Right. If you want a good Elder Scrolls on the Switch, man, go play Skyrim. Fallout 76 got a few new modes. I think the big one was like, there's NPCs coming, of course. But Nuclear Winter, which is their battle royale game, and I think this is something they were honestly going to sell as DLC, but obviously they can't do that anymore because nobody bought the game. I think it's $20 now, and I think the people just got their bags that had the. I don't know. We talk about it where like the people who ordered the premium super duper edition was supposed to get a bag.
Yeah, and they were with the wrong material and all that stuff.
It had the wrong material, and it was just a nightmare after nightmare because then someone complained, and an official person from Bethesda was like, "Deal with it. That we're not getting it, and there's nothing you're gonna do about it. You're gonna be able to do about it." And it went all over the internet. And it's just been one thing after another. Yeah, that entire game is purchase this thing. So the whole game revolves around you being in the Fallout, collecting stuff, building stuff. But you can spend real money to get real in-game item stuff.
Cool.
It was their way, and if there's an interview that Todd does with IGN. And it's infuriating to listen to because essentially it's him talking about how it's the game that they knew that it wasn't going to be what they knew it wasn't going to be the game that everyone would get excited for. They knew releasing it that it was not going to be a good game.
Then why release it?
And he talks about how we have all of these. We have Skyrim that is on everything, and it's been on everything for however many years now, but we haven't been able to make money off of it.
Oh, it's
and that's essentially what they're doing with these games. And that's what's got me so worried about the next Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
The next Starfield game is because those are supposed to be the ones that are the RPGs where you could turn the internet off and play those games from front to back. No loot boxes, no nothing. And the way all of these games, they got up on the stage and thought people would get excited because they thought they're bringing a Commander Keen game to the mobile app, and it has nothing to do with Commander Keen. It's just like cartoonish work. It doesn't even look like the original Commander Keen artwork. I don't know if you know what Commander Keen is.
Yeah,
old PC game. Yeah, so like Deathloop, Ghostwire Tokyo look pretty cool, but again, none of those are Bethesda studios. They're all published by Bethesda, I think, but they're not actually Bethesda studios.
Yeah.
And of course, Doom Eternal, which is it. Bethesda offered nothing this year. I don't know why they did this conference. It was a disaster. And again, I hate the I'm doing quotations, the entitled gamer, because definitely not that. But I'm over I can see through the bullshit now. I can see through you're just trying to continue to make a buck after someone buys a game. And that's what destroyed the mobile gaming, iOS, Android, all of that. And I'm the first person that tells you to go download this mobile game because I love Hearthstone. I love all these other things. Hearthstone's I say that, but I can deal with it in some ways. A card game, I'll always have to deal with that. But I don't want it in every game I play.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it seeking into every single thing they put out there. And that's what that's the big problem Blizzard had last year, because that was the thing they ended their show on. Their giant Blizzard going home show with an audience full of PC minded people to end on a mobile game, a mobile Diablo that's family friendly.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's something you announce on a direct like Nintendo does,
exactly,
somewhere in the middle of the year.
Yeah. Or you put that in the middle of the show. Hey, by the way, here's this really cool thing we're excited about.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Blades has a place.
Sure.
Fallout 76, it has a place. But
the trash.
if you're not gonna announce any real games, and I hate saying it like that, but a game that's not a gotcha game, a game that's not a how much money can I get off you for the next year game, an actual game, like Final Fantasy VII Remaster, like Dragon Quest, 11, Kingdom Hearts 3, any of these other games that were announced, the Baldur Gate game. Well, granted, I guess I don't know what they're doing with that, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be exactly like the Divinity game. If you're going to talk about a game like that, get out there and tell me about it. Doom looks like Doom.
Yeah.
It looks like id was like, hey, we're going to make a Doom game.
Cool.
I don't think I'm going to have to load up Doom and then go to a level and have to wait 5 minutes to be able to continue playing. At least from what they've showed. Like, give me more stuff like that.
Right.
If they would have got on stage and showed more games like Doom, I would have been so happy. But nope. I don't even know what the Wolfenstein one
and
was.
This
and
is
that comes
why,
out soon.
Yeah. This is why Sony said we're going to take the year off, because they had nothing new. And they knew this kind of thing would be what would happen. They didn't have anything new to say. They've talked about all their games. They talked about Ghost of Tsushima. They've talked about everything. Everybody knows what's coming. So why? Why would you do this? And so they didn't. And everybody gave them crap for it. And then Bethesda comes out and did exactly what would have happened to Sony. And hopefully everybody goes, oh, that's why.
Yeah, perfect example, Nintendo, which, by the way, I thought had the best show this year. Nintendo really announced all of these games, put dates on them. Some of them, of course, they didn't have dates on them. Like, I think like Luigi Mansion is sometime this year. Most of them were like, here's a date, here's a date, here's a date.
Right.
And there's a big mobile game coming out soon with Nintendo, Dr. Mario. They didn't show it in the show.
No, didn't talk about it.
That's not where it belongs. It belongs on Kotaku release. Like, they know that that's not what their audience is there to see.
Exactly.
Their audience wants to know about the Pokemon, the Zelda, the Mario. They want to see real games being released. And again, Bethesda is one of those, like, that's an old studio. That's an old PC. That's what's baffling to me, is that
if you didn't have Elder Scrolls 6 to show, you shouldn't have showed up in the first place.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, is it's like, in my mind, I guess, when I'm looking at gamers, people who play video games, and there's ones who are super casual, who might not even own a console, who just own like a mobile device, and they have their place. And there's a ton of great mobile games out there. Monument Valley, for example, is so awesome. You should go buy that. It's like $5. It's like $10 when it comes out, but it's so worth it. It's a game that's not going to ask you to buy a single thing in it, and it's awesome. Mobile has its place, but it's super casual, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the other side of the market, where it's like PC gamers, old school PC gamers, people that will spend $3,000 on a computer kind of gamer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Someone who is insanely invested. They want the best of the best, and they probably are older enough to have played these the Baldur Gates, the old Warcraft, the StarCraft, all of these old games. Bethesda's a big part of that, right?
Yep.
The Elder Scrolls game, all of that stuff. It's like I get they're trying to get the other end of the market, but be careful how you do that. You're going to turn off so many people by implementing all of those things in those kind of games. And that's where I guess the problem is with me.
Yeah.
Because it's more and more making me go, you know what? That Ni no Kuni game that's a remake that's coming out on the Switch, I'm going to go and spend my time with that. The Baldo game, the one that's made by the Studio Ghibli people, that game looks awesome, and I bet I don't have to pay $1 once I buy it. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
It's a sad state where we're looking at video games and saying, do I only have to pay for this once?
For real. Oh, yeah, Bloodstained Ritual. I would rather pay $40 for that any day than buy a game where I have to pay $5 to continue building my house in Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls, you should be able to play offline and play through the whole thing. So it's really, it just, I don't know. It grinds my gears. He's a Peter Griffin term. Sorry. But no, the whole thing was bad. Doom looked awesome. Doom looked amazing. The stuff they were doing with the shooting seemed really cool.
Yeah.
The first Doom game, it was like, You punch them, you get certain things back. You shoot them, you get certain things back.
Yeah.
They kind of take that to another level where, like, if you shoot them with a certain kind of elemental gun, you get a certain elemental stuff back. If you swing off of something, they take what they did before and they add to it.
Nice.
Yeah, so where it's almost like a dance almost, where like you got to do all this stuff to get certain things back. If you're like, oh well, no, I need shotgun shells, then that means I need to do this kind of thing to the alien, and I don't know, or demon or whatever. So it looked really fun. The Doom game, that's a day one purchase.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it's Doom. You know what you're getting. Doom is Doom. Like this.
Oh yeah, and one of the big problems with man, they had the hecklers. Now, obviously they were either people that worked for Bethesda, maybe they were seeing their thing on stage, but it was just to such an annoyance level. I thought they were trolling. Like no one should scream that loud when someone announces Blades.
That's unfortunate.
Or a Fallout. You know, it just it I don't know. Go watch Doom Immortals Q&A from Blizzard. That's how an audience reacts, a real audience with fans in it.
Where they just all kind of sit around and go, what?
Yeah, like, is this a joke? Come on, tell me there's something more. Tell me that, like, you're like, aha, that's cool. We just need to get that out of the way. Here's the real thing. No, but these Bethesda people were literally losing their minds every 2 minutes. And it kind of was a problem because the rest of the show, like even Square Enix, if you've watched Squares, it's just people constantly screaming yes and give me that. And
yeah,
maybe it was because of the Keanu moment. I don't know.
I think that may have been an unintentional side effect of that.
Oh, it just got so annoying, and it in my twisted head, I'm thinking, did Todd Howard get these people to say like, you need to cheer for this? Probably not, but it felt weird. It felt like they're cheering for just individual words at this point, and they're just like in the middle of a sentence. It made no sense.
Yeah.
It felt gross. Man, it just felt super gross. And that's the thing. I like Todd Howard. I like his enthusiasm, but man, it's totally coming off the wrong way with what he's doing with these games. And I really wish they could get ahead of themselves. Oh, and a lot of the show was essentially clips of the people who play the game.
Yeah. And
the people who work on the game. And I liked that. That was awesome. And I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to be like, hey, audience, we're people too.
Right.
And so that was cool. But it's like, okay, you made a mistake, though. That doesn't, like, just because you get out here and you're like, well, we're people too. We get that. I'm the kind of person that I'll complain about it here on the podcast or whatever, but I will not send a single tweet to one of them. Like I'm not confrontational, anything like that. I kind of speak with my wallet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's where I really want to give them. That's the thing. I want to give them money. I want to play more of their games. If their games are not ready, which it doesn't seem like they are, just don't come. Get out there when Starfield is out that year. Then I'll be super excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few years ago, they had one of the best conferences. When they announced Fallout 4, I thought, that's how you do it. You had your little Fallout Shelter game, and you had your announcement for Fallout 4. That's how you do it.
Yeah, because I think that was their first show, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was too. And it's like, that's what you do. Because we'll get through the mobile stuff, and that has a place. But show us the big thing that we've been waiting years for. And that's my advice to them. Is just hold off until Starfield's done, and then they're going to be doing Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
And of course, they showed a bunch of Elder Scrolls Online stuff. That's a huge, huge game. And that's where you can kind of put some of those stuff you pay for, because people are going to pay for mounts and all that other kind of stuff.
Sure. I mean, MMOs are built on that. Like, you go into an MMO expecting that.
Absolutely. Warcraft does that. All of those do that. But Blizzard's that's a whole nother story. They're looking at their classic numbers right now on Twitch, and it's insane. They're beating Fortnite. They're beating Apex. And they're like, well, wait a second. How are we doing this? And it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. People liked that game when it came out. People loved that game when it came out. There's a whole bunch of rumors with that, too. Like, I won't talk about it, but apparently they're going to squish the numbers from 120 to 60 for the level cap.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And my thought process is, I hope that's not what you're taking away from what people like about the original game. People like that it was hard, that you couldn't fly, that it was super difficult, that when you got things, it felt like you were rewarded with them. And while where now it's like it's totally different. So I don't know. I hope that's not their takeaway. It's like, wait a second, if we just move it to 60. But anyway, well, that's a whole nother podcast. So, but anyway, that was Bethesda. Man, they were bad. You want to talk about another bad one? I thought Ubisoft.
Boo, shame on you. I loved Ubisoft's show.
Oof.
I loved it.
Let me think. I'm trying to think of one game that stood out. Maybe I don't know. I mean, the terrorist simulator game didn't look that interesting to me. Well, that's what you're doing, right?
Well,
you're recruiting people to.
One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
That's true. Absolutely. So it
just depends on whether you're a fascist or not.
That's true. This is that looked interesting. I'll be completely honest. As much as I want to get into Watch Dogs, it's not for me.
That's fair. I was excited. I love, my biggest thing is I love that they're giving like all of these characters that are recruitable, which, let's be honest, will not be every single person in that game, as much as they wanted to try to make it sound like that. It won't be. It's still going to be a huge roster, and they're all going to have enough of a backstory where they're not just random NPC recruit number 6, you know. So I'm good with that. I like the idea of having permadeath in this. Like, there's not one single main character that you play as. There is.
And that was cool.
Yeah, there's a double edge to that sword that maybe you start losing interest after a while. I could see that possibly being a thing. But I enjoyed Watch Dogs. I liked the first one. It showed promise. It wasn't as great as they hyped it up to be. Watch Dogs 2, however, I think is underrated. I think a lot of people overlooked Watch Dogs 2, and I think Legion is kind of the reckoning of all of this. I think Legion is going to be awesome, and I'm excited.
I kind of but that's the thing I liked about Watch Dogs 2 was the teamwork and the kind of story about those characters. This looks like it has none of that.
I'm with you. I agree with that, and I think that is potentially a problem. But you know, there's
I like whatever system they have behind this. It's kind of like what they did with Shadows of Mordor. It was like, that's an awesome system. No other game for some reason has touched it.
Yeah.
And I imagine this system in other games would be insane. But I can't. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's just not for me. Like I don't know why, but these like city simulator type. I don't know what it is.
That's fair.
But
and a lot of Ubisoft games.
Yeah.
A lot of Ubisoft's games in particular have a similar feel to them. You know, Watch Dogs, Ghost Recon, The Division.
It all blended together. I couldn't tell you which one was Tom Clancy, which one was Ghost Recon. They're all Tom Clancy, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll tell you one game that did look fascinating to me, and I want to see more of it, is that Gods and Monsters.
Yes, because that's the Assassin's Creed Odyssey team. And they said, we want to make something that's not Assassin's Creed. And they went, okay, do that.
Yes.
And so they are. And I'm looking forward to that. I definitely want to see more of that. But
yes.
I mean, Breakpoint looks like, oh hey, it's the next Ghost Recon game. They're not for me, but
wait, is there a real game called Breakpoint?
Yeah, Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Oh my god.
That's the next one.
Making a joke.
No, that's the one that had John Bernthal in it.
Okay, yeah, that's right. He came out with his dog.
Yeah.
I see. That's the problem with these games. They all blended together for me.
No,
those are just not my.
They absolutely do. I understand that. Elite Squad is a mobile kind of XCOM game with all the different Tom Clancy characters, which I thought was a little too meta for my taste. They did Just Dance 2020 because they have to. Right. That's fine. You get used to that. Mm-hmm. For Honor showed their next event. Okay.
For Honor's fun.
Yeah, see, that's a thing that was never for me, but the people that got into it really got into it.
Yeah. I wish they kind of went a different route with it. Like, as soon as Game of Thrones is done, one of my buddies, listener to the show, Sean, we started playing a little bit of For Honor, and oh man, they've added so much to that.
Yeah.
That's one of those where, like, I don't know if it's free for the base.
It is. It is, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because that should totally be free for the base, and then, like, you add the packs later or something.
Yeah, I think it is now. I don't think it was in the beginning.
Yeah. No, it definitely wasn't. I purchased that right up front.
And it may, I don't know, they may not have changed that, because it was, I don't remember. They may have.
The thing about For Honor, I wish it was a Star Wars game. The fighting and dueling in that, it's so smart. The way you use the mouse and keyboard, like when you use the mouse and you look up, you look to the left, you look to the right when you're focused on somebody.
Yeah.
All you have to do is look. So like let's say you are coming at me with a lightsaber and I see your hands go up. If I move the mouse up, I'm blocking it. If I see you go to the right, I'm blocking it. If I see you going to the right, but I see you doing a stronger attack, I have to hold down like shift or something, and it blocks it. But then I can do my move. So it's like a dance almost. And you have to not only, of course, block their moves, but counter it. And all this sort of stuff. And then you have all the different classes from all the different time periods. I just wish there was a Star Wars one. That's the thing, because that would be awesome with a lightsaber. It's that kind of thing where, But right now I'm playing the game with him and I'm trying to unlock a bunch of stuff so I can get like the Game of Thrones, because that would be a cool mod for it. That's the only thing they need to attach something to it.
Yeah.
Like that. But I'm stupid. I need stuff like that to get excited. But other than that, it's a really fun game, and I think that was totally overlooked. Like, I don't know how many people play it, but it's a shame that one didn't take off as well as it should have.
Yeah.
Because it's different. It's not Tom Clancy's Shooter of the Week. I'm looking at this list here, and it's just all shooting games, and it's just not for me.
But they're for everybody else, though. They make money. That's why they keep, Rainbow Six Quarantine is a 3-player co-op, and I mean that's just the next one.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I totally know I'm in the minority first. What's this Mystic Quest game?
This is the one this is not
the show.
That's the show. Yeah, that's right. That's the Office, but with game developers.
Yes, that's right. I saw the trailer for this. This looked funny as hell. I don't like that it's on Apple TV Plus, and that alone.
Yeah, but
that's kind of a negative.
Yeah, but I mean, we live in an age of exclusivity now. So I mean, I get it. I understand it.
But other than that, dude, we've been talking about we want more TV shows like this.
Yeah.
That are in our world, and like he's obviously spoofing a lot of these CEOs, devs that we've seen over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be interesting.
But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic for that.
I love the talent in it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
but
I'm all in for that.
We'll see. They announced, because of course, everybody has to have a subscription service. There's Uplay Plus. It's $50 a month. So far it's PC only.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 50.
No, God, no. They don't have that many games. Jesus.
See, all these services, and I heard Square's trying to get their own too.
Well, here's the thing though. I'm okay with Square doing it because they have a library. They have a library that goes back 30 years.
I can't think of a studio. I could totally do Xbox.
Sure.
I'm gonna do Disney.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I can't think of another studio where I would pay a $15 fee to play everything. I guess maybe Blizzard, because I've already done that with Warcraft.
I was gonna say,
But other than that, I honestly can't think of another. And that's
fair.
And the thing is with Blizzard, that's not something I keep all the time. I play it when the expansion comes out.
I could give you one.
I can't think. Go ahead.
Nintendo.
Their entire library, yes.
Yes, and that's 100%. What I mean. Yes.
Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. I should say those big three are an absolute yes.
Yeah, if they each put out their own actual, I mean, even if it was just first-party games.
Yeah.
It's still, like, each of those is still a lineup and a half.
Oh yeah, and if it was every game, so you can get on there and play you can play Super Mario Sunshine, you could play Super Mario World, you could play Metroid, you could play all that stuff.
Yeah, totally.
100% would do it. But these other studios, I wouldn't do that with Bethesda.
No.
I wouldn't do that with I'm trying to think. Like, I wouldn't do that with Ubisoft. I wouldn't. But maybe it's just because Ubisoft's not my cup of tea. I couldn't do that with Square, even though Square has a giant library.
I could do it with Square because you would just. The problem with that though is every one of their best games are JRPGs, which which will take you a month to play. So you're basically paying like, $15 a game, more or less.
That's what I mean. Who would have the time to be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go into the Secrets of Mana
But you
series."
have to, well, but then you have to include like Crystal Dynamics is involved in that, Eidos is involved in that. Like, I mean, it's all the old Tomb Raiders, it's the old Gex games. Like, I mean, there's the Deus Ex games. Like, there's a library that goes back a long way.
At what point do you stop getting subscription service? It's insane.
I think in 10 years we'll find out.
I think in 5 years we're gonna find out, because it's getting to a point where it's like, you know what's the crazy thing? I tried to find Lord of the Rings the other day. I was like, I have all these subscription services, not on one of them.
No, because Warner Brothers is trying to do their own subscription service, which is where it will be.
No,
that's why they're cannibalizing the DC Universe app, because they want everything under the Warner Media streaming banner.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's other reasons why they're cannibalizing that too. Isn't one of them like they canceled Swamp Thing because of the taxes there, right?
They can't. What? Okay, so what happened with Swamp Thing depends on who you ask, because there are 3 semi-official stories floating around. One is because of creative differences, which I don't think I believe. The other is because they didn't realize how much it was going to cost to begin with, which I don't entirely believe. Mm-hmm. The one that I tend to believe most is that North Carolina stiffed them on the tax rebate.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They changed the tax law or something.
Yeah, that's one of the stories going around. It wasn't that they changed the tax law, it's that they decided that they basically decided not to give as much of a rebate as they said they were going to.
Oh, okay.
Which is a very North Carolina thing to do.
Yeah.
And it does not surprise me in the slightest if that was what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I like, that's the story I believe. I believe that they cheated Warner Brothers on the taxes. And so they said, okay, fine, we're going to have to cancel it because we can't film it here.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks, but I mean, North Carolina a handful of years ago famously basically abolished their whole tax incentive thing. That's why everybody went to Georgia and Louisiana. And if anybody had half a brain, they would look at what's happening with Georgia and say, all of these productions are going to be looking for places to go. We should revisit our whole incentives idea. But,
yeah, they're all, from what I understand, they're all trying to get out of Georgia now.
Yep. But I mean, if you can look at the ideology and agree with it or not, but if you're running a state, you need to look at this as an opportunity. Especially for North Carolina. We literally have everything from beach to mountain.
Oh, yeah.
And everything in between. There is no... If you want it, you can find it here. We have swamp,
there was a point where more things were being shot in North Carolina than Hollywood, right?
There was a time.
Or was it second biggest or something like that?
They were up there. That was back during, like One Tree Hill and Dawson's Creek and all that. And they were filming movies out here. But they, for whatever reason... Well,
dude, if they can shoot, New York City and Atlanta, they can do stuff in North Carolina.
Sure.
If they can shoot all of the Marvel movies there,
yeah.
If they can shoot Wakanda there, they can shoot anything in North Carolina.
We have everything here except for people who understand how to bring businesses.
Yep.
Oh.
Let politics get in the way.
And I happen to live in the town that doesn't like giant American flags. I've never been so damn embarrassed of a place to live in my life. You can't have missed that nonsense going on.
Well, no, I think I saw it on your page.
Probably.
Could you fly any kind of flag?
Here's the thing. The problem is, there's a Gander RV, which used to be Camping World before they got bought out by a different company in the same brand. They basically just kind of merged the brands, I guess. And they're a company, they're one of those places on the interstate, so they have a giant American flag. Because, of course they do. Why not? And a lot of places do that. Well, the problem is, they don't technically own enough land from a zoning standpoint next to the interstate for that flag to be allowed to be that size. So they would have had to have either, and I don't know if they can buy enough flag for the ordinance to take. It's a zoning thing. They don't own X amount of square acreage or whatever the hell it is for it to be allowed to be that size flag. Fine, whatever. So after about 2 years of dealing with this crap, the city council the zoning board proposed a bill before the city council this week. They proposed the bill last week. It was voted on this week to basically say, can we all just shut the hell up and let them fly their flag? And the city council voted 5-3 to not pass that bill. Because this part of the country is so patriotic that we're going to fight you over your American flag being too big. I cannot fathom the stupidity that goes on around here. It is insane to me. And we're a laughingstock. We are a joke to the entire country because we're fighting over a flag being too big. And the problem is, this is the kind of place where you would think you'd be stabbed if you didn't have the Second Amendment tattooed on your face.
Right.
But oh my God, the American flag is too big. Like that's something. This town should be painted like an American flag if everybody had be painted half American flag, half stars and bars. But
right.
it's insane to me. It is beyond stupid that this is a thing, and then to see them keep voting it down. Who in the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess Bethesda people run this. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's But
yeah.
Anyway, I enjoyed Ubisoft's press conference. I love seeing Eve come out because I'm behind Ubisoft just because they fought off Vivendi, and I love Ubisoft to death, and I will charge into battle with them even for something like Just Dance 2020. I don't care.
They used to show more diverse games, and I guess that's
true.
what.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to shit on them. They weren't as bad as as Bethesda or anything like that.
But everything did look the same. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's a fair point. It's because the Tom Clancy games all make way too much money.
Yeah.
That's just why. It's unfortunate, but it is.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you want to do next? Microsoft, Nintendo?
Yeah, we'll do Nintendo and then we'll close with Microsoft.
Okay.
Because Nintendo had a lot of just here's a trailer for something.
I thought Nintendo did it the best. Hands down, because they were like, here is a game, here is gameplay, and here's the date.
That's fair, and that's what I mean by trailer.
It wasn't, here's Xavier Woods beneath the stage. We won't show you the game. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
And here's the trailer for Terminator, I think. Let's go to the next game.
God, I was disappointed that the T1000 was not announced as the next Smash DLC. That bothers me greatly. It really does. God, you couldn't get away from Terminator. It was literally everywhere.
I was so confused. I was like, are they going to show Gears of War? Did they bring Gears of War to this stage?
No,
I don't think I saw it there, but apparently they were showing it to people at the show.
Yeah, no, it wasn't on stage. They brought the Terminator skins, but they didn't show the actual game.
Yeah, as much as I thought Microsoft did a pretty good year, that part was like, come on.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's why I like Nintendo, is because it was like,
it's fair.
Hey, there's something, and there's a date.
Yeah.
Or there was a few that there was no date, but for the most part, it was like, hey, that's coming out in a few months. Oh, hey, that's this year.
Yeah.
I think they even talked about that because they were like, hey, by the way, these games that we're going to be showing you for the most part are coming out the next, basically next holiday.
Right.
It started off with the Dragon Quest Dragon Quest Fighter for Smash.
Yeah. The what was it? Just the hero, right?
Yeah, the hero. Yeah. So it's the newest hero. But what's cool is for the shadow character or whatever, it's like all of them.
Yeah, I thought that was neat. I was like, I get that. That's cool. I'm alright.
That's really cool. Yeah. So if you're Dragon Quest, and they showed a bunch of Dragon Quest, the other DLC character, which I loved how they introduced this.
I did too. God, that pissed me off so much, but I loved it because they were like, "It's Banjo-Kazooie." No, it's the dog and the duck from Duck Hunt. Shame on both of you. You're all terrible people.
Yes.
And then, oh, by the way, no, here are Banjo-Kazooie. I was like, God damn it, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. It's a fantastic trailer. I loved it. That's trolling done right.
Yes.
Is what that was. That was perfect.
Yeah.
But excited for that. It's a good choice. I'm on board. Because it's the closest thing to anything Banjo-Kazooie will ever get again.
Rare can still make it, right?
No, they're a Microsoft-owned studio.
That's what I mean. They can still make it, right?
Well, yeah, sure. They can make another one like Nuts and Bolts because that was the last one they made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been making the Wii Sports Connect version. Like that's what they've been doing.
Okay.
No, Rare's gone to pot since Microsoft bought them. That's a case where a studio went to hell because of being bought out.
Yeah.
They've been doing Viva Pinata, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I think the only character I want on Smash is Goku, which I don't know why they own the rights to them.
You're never gonna get. We've been through this. You're never gonna get it.
They right. They just think it's a total waste.
I agree.
They literally put everyone on there that people have asked for.
Yep.
Goku is the one remaining person, and it's the one character they have the rights to make if they wanted to. But I don't think they will. You're right. I thought they would for the longest time, but it might be one of those situations where they're teasing it like this, where they show Donkey Kong, and the Duck Hunt dog or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe one day. Goku's technically in the game though, just not the one we know. That was a ton of fun to go through with my friend's kid the other day, and we just had a blast playing Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I totally suck at it. They started making their own levels and stuff. They were absolutely in love with it. But I don't know. But yeah, it had those. It had Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I loved Luigi's Mansion. I love Dark Moon. Like I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, again, my friend kid, he loved the game on the 3DS, I think.
Yeah, Dark Moon was a 3DS game.
Yes, and so I showed him that, and he was like, "Oh, yes, Luigi."
Mm-hmm.
He says Ouija, but I'm like, "Yep, Luigi." But yeah, it looked like a ton of fun. Looked like a blast. It was like co-op, I think.
Yeah, there were co-opable sections, I think. Or like you and Luigi could be a co-op pair.
That's right.
So it's like, that's neat. Fun. That's cool.
Yep. They got a Dark Crystal game. The Age of Resistance Tactics is coming, 2009. Looks like a tactics game.
Yeah, that's it. It's Final Fantasy Tactics with the Dark Crystal. Okay.
Yeah, like claymation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When's the Dark Crystal coming out?
Oh God, is it later this year? I think on Netflix. I forget.
I don't know. It should come out soon. Let's see here.
I think it's before the end of the year.
August 30th, 2019.
Oh, happy birthday to me.
Yep. The only game coming out on my birthday, which is the 8th, is Lord of the Rings Lord of the Rings living card game for the Switch.
Hey, you get something Lord of the Rings for your birthday. There you go.
Yes. Maybe Dark Crystal's fun too. It's creepy.
Yeah.
That I showed that again. I keep bringing up my friend's kid, but Nintendo. This is kind of where that just show that audience.
Exactly. No, yeah.
Yeah, he was blown away by the Dark Crystal, the way it looked. I was like, that's not CGI. Those are like Muppets. Those are real physical things. And he was just like, what? Like, he was totally like, what is... Like, it took it to another level. He really thought they were creepy looking too.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, that's the point. that's the idea, is that it's supposed to be weird, creepy. And I also showed them Stranger Things, which I don't know if it was age appropriate, but whatever. But they really got a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening. They showed the trailer. They showed the Dungeon Builder mode for it. It comes out September 20th.
Yep.
Which looks awesome. I love the look of those things. It looks like toys. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Had you ever played Link's Awakening?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Trials of Mana. They showed the trailer. It's coming 2020.
Yep.
The Witcher 3. Switch version, 2019.
Yeah, and it's not going to run 720 I think I saw. Or that's as good as it's going to run as 720. What was it?
Yeah, handheld I think was 720.
No, docked is 720.
Oh, docked is 720. Then it's like 5 something.
Handheld is 540.
Yeah.
Ooh, I really don't care. Like, that just doesn't bother me. It really doesn't.
That's the thing, is if you want a mobile version of the Switch, or I'm sorry, the mobile version of The Witcher, there you go.
Yeah, this is what you're gonna get. Deal with it, you know.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is July 26th. Now, I got the last Fire Emblem game, but I ended up trading it in. I don't know if I'll get this one. They seem so fascinating to me. I love the fighting and stuff, the fighting style or whatnot in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's sure a lot of them in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 5 and 6 coming to the Switch fall 2019.
Yeah, the games that nobody asked for.
But they're there. That's, you know, if
I get
Final Fantasy 8 was missing, you'd want Final Fantasy 8. I'm sure there's someone out there who likes those games.
I'm sure.
Yeah, No More Heroes 3 they showed a trailer for it.
Yep.
Contra Rogue Corps was like dog shit. September 24th. That was what I was like, wait a second, is this a real game?
Yeah.
It does not look good. I don't know.
Not really, no.
Damien X Machina, September 13th, which we saw the trailer for that last year.
Yeah.
The demo's on the store, so go check it out. It's a mech
nice.
game. If you love mech stuff, looks like it's for you.
Yeah.
Panzer Dragoon.
Dude, it's a new Panzer Dragoon game. I am stoked.
Yeah.
Love these games.
I never played them, but it looked like a Star Fox.
Basically, yeah. It was Sega's take on Star Fox, and it worked. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Trying to say both words at once. You can transfer the Pokemon to the Pokemon Plus, which is the little Pokemon ball. Wasn't that big of a deal, but we got the direct a few days before that.
Yeah.
Astral Chain, which is August 30th, which looks interesting. Curious what that's gonna be like.
Yeah.
Empire of Sin, which is spring 2020.
Yeah, that was just kind of like, here's this, and I was like, okay, what is that?
Yeah. Then we got wait, where were we?
Ultimate
Marvel
Alliance
Ultimate
3,
Alliance
yeah.
3, which I'm totally gonna pick up July 19th. They're gonna have DLC from Marvel Knights, X-Men, and Fantastic Four.
And did you notice they used like the 90s or classic logos for the X-Men and the Fantastic Four?
I never get DLC, and I just talked about a few minutes ago about how not wanting to continue to give game money. I'm absolutely getting those.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
when I saw the font that they used, when I was like, "Those are that's the comic book covers."
Yep.
I'm so glad they went. I'm two sides of this. I'm glad they went this art direction with it. It's kind of too bland, but at the same time, I'm glad that it is artwork. I'm glad it is more. It's not trying to look realistic.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, it's more of like the comic book look. When the Switch first came out, we both originally talked about it needs beat 'em ups. There's no beat 'em ups. There's no good beat 'em ups. Here we go. Perfect. That's what we get.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a game that came out Thursday, the Cadence of Hyrule.
Yeah, which apparently is really interesting.
Yeah, it's like a dance game, but with Zelda.
Yeah.
There's another one, whatever, of the Necromancer that came out.
Well, because that's what it's basically a spin-off from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Just didn't look like it was for me, but hey, a lot of people are loving it. Mario and Sonic, the Olympic games. My friend Kid really wants to get this, which looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a Mario and Sonic Olympic game.
Well, and I keep forgetting just how many different of the sports they actually put in these.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of them.
They load them up, and I always forget that.
Yeah, so probably getting that for them. Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is one of their big ones. March 20th, 2020. They came out and they said, hey, we know you guys have been kind of wanting this year. We're going to be waiting until 2020 because we want to make sure that our devs have a decent amount of time to work on it, which I respect.
Yep.
Yeah, if a game's not ready, don't push them. There's a lot of talk about crunch and whatnot. I'm glad Nintendo's kind of getting ahead of them, and I've never heard of any issues with Nintendo crunch. Except for what's his face that makes Smash, but he says it himself.
Yeah.
You know? But for the most part, Nintendo's usually pretty good with this. So hey, I'll wait until March. That's fine. We got Pokemon and Luigi and all that other stuff this year coming out. And also, Ni no Kuni comes out for the Switch this year. It got a remaster, but the remaster version is not going to come on the Switch, just the regular version of Ni no Kuni.
It figures.
Which is fine if you've ever played Ni no Kuni on a PlayStation 3.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
It's beautiful. You can't tell you're playing a PlayStation 3. It's not like putting in, I don't know, whatever PlayStation 3 game there is. Ni no Kuni is like artwork. It's like a cartoon. It's gorgeous. It's Studio Ghibli helped with it. So
yeah.
And I think that comes out September 20th, which is awesome. That's where my time is going to be going. And then the big thing they ended it with was they just wanted to say, hey, Breath of the Wild sequel is in development.
Sure, because, duh. Like, why wouldn't it be? Yeah. But absolutely. I do like that they didn't, like, it's going to be a Breath of the Wild sequel. It's not, like, the next Legend of Zelda game. It's a direct Breath of the Wild sequel.
Right. I assume it's going to be the same map. Which kind of, for a lot of people, I imagine that's like takes the wind out of the sails because they're like half of that game enjoyment was exploring. Yeah. I just hope they change it up a different. Like I hope it looks like something happens drastically in the world where I do hope it's like kind of like Cataclysma with Warcraft where like the map changes, boom, suddenly this raises up, this goes over here, everything's. I hope it's like that.
Well, and I hope it explores the rest of the world too. Like
that's true. That's true. I have a feeling it's not. I have a feeling it's like, hey, we have this map right here. We're going to play with that. Because I did read that the developers were like, we have all these ideas for DLC, but we realized that we could just make a game out of it.
There you go. Done. I'm good with that.
Yes. And hey, if that means it's going to come out in a year or two, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Nintendo's big show, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the midst of all this, we had Microsoft.
Yes.
Which was the biggest show, and I know Phil came out and he was like, yeah, we kind of missed having Sony there and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, did you really, Phil?
I think they did. I think Sony not being there hurts everyone, and Sony being there helps everyone. Same with Microsoft. I think Microsoft not going to the show would have hurt a lot of people.
Well, Microsoft had stuff to announce, though. Sony, we talked about this earlier. I think
that's true.
I think Sony made the right for them choice. I do.
You're right. You're absolutely right. No, you're right. Now that I think about it, I just I think both studios are good for each other.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
No, just we had trailers on trailers on trailers. We saw The Outer Worlds is going to be coming from Obsidian. It's October 25th. We saw Bleeding Edge, which is the next Ninja Theory game. I don't think they gave a release date, but it'll probably be next year. We saw more from Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Comes out February 11th. One that surprised me with how interested I was in it was Minecraft Dungeons.
Yeah.
That actually looked like something I might want to play.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes out spring of next year. The big one kind of in the middle of all this was Fallen Order.
Yes, which apparently they
did not show.
They showed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's the talk going around. What, it plays like a Metroidvania game, doesn't it?
They said Metroidvania, and even some people said not Soul Calibur. What's the game? Holy shit, my mind is too late. What's the Souls game?
Dark Souls?
Dark Souls, yes.
Okay.
That not as like you'll die if you're hit once, but more of like you have to prepare yourself before you go into like the Sekiro game. Like you can't just go in there swinging.
Right, I got you. That makes sense.
You have to, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got the next birthday present that I get the Blair Witch game on my birthday. Here's a game. Yeah. Here's a game that nobody asked for, nobody wants, and nobody's going to play.
Yep.
Because they're not. It's just not. I don't understand the resurgence of the Blair Witch over the last couple of years. It didn't work. It's not going to work again.
Yep.
I don't get it. But whatever. They did a trailer for this game that some Polish studio's doing, and then they did Spiritfarer, which I think was a great way to kick off like the whole independent at Xbox thing. No, intentionally, of course, skipping over Cyberpunk because it's been talked about to death. and it was awesome. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it was cool to see like the reveal at the end of like, hey, that's definitely Keanu Reeves. That's very cool. And then he was there, and that was very cool. And he looked like he genuinely enjoyed being there, which was the coolest part of all of that.
Oh yeah, he won E3.
Yes,
by far and away.
Just by being excited to be a part of something, like,
being genuine.
Because he even talked about, they came to him and talked about all this stuff about the game, and he's like, and I don't really know about that, but I know a good story. And I was like, that's fair. That's honest. I understand that completely. Mm-hmm. And just, you know, it was an awesome, it was one of the better celebrity moments at E3, which again is a short list, but it's just because usually they're terrible. Yes. But this was brief. There was a script. They went off it a couple times, but it was fun. But it was just, I'm here.
It was an awesome surprise.
Yes,
that was the biggest surprise to me. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was like, I'm here. I appreciate that you like me. I'm glad to be a part of all of this awesome, crazy stuff. Here's when the release date is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, cool, awesome, and that was it. They didn't have him stick around to try to explain anything or talk about it. No, he's done. That was it. And that's how you do it. You know? Mm-hmm. You get Terry Crews to come out and look like Terry Crews and act like Terry Crews. You get Keanu Reeves to come out and just be excited for a moment, and that's it. You know? That's how these things work. We got a new trailer for Battletoads, which included like a revised take on the infamous bike sequence. Damn them all for showing that.
That was funny.
I got anxiety just watching that.
Yep.
The Legend of Wright got a trailer that looked kind of interesting to me, at least. And then we had the ID at Xbox, just like sizzle reel, all that kind of stuff. Tabs, Crosscode, Supermarket Shriek, the Lord of the Rings living card game. Night Call, just all kinds of just like, hey, here are these little independent games. Okay, cool. We talked about Game Pass. They made a big deal about Arkham Knight now being on Game Pass, and I was like, you guys are a little late on that one.
Yeah.
I do like that they made a deal about the other three though. Metro Exodus, Hollow Knight, and the Handsome Collection are all on Game Pass. And those I thought, okay, sure. That makes sense. And then in what to me was if Keanu Reeves hadn't been there, this would have been the biggest surprise of E3. Not best or worst, but just biggest. Microsoft Flight Simulator is coming back.
Yeah, it looked beautiful.
It does. It looks just absolutely gorgeous. I was like, okay, why not? Sure, go for it. Yeah. It's your thing, do it.
Yeah.
We got another trailer for the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. We got a trailer for Wasteland 3. We got a new Psychonauts 2 trailer. We talked about Xbox buying Double Fine. And I like Tim Schafer up there being funny. We will do whatever you want. Halo content, Forza content, Excel content. They're like, Tim, we just want you to keep making great games. Oh, that's great. I was totally lying. Like, that sounds good for you, Tim. Good on you. I liked when they talked about Double Fine's heritage. They name-dropped Brutal Legend, because that's a game that got a lot of crap when it came out, but has survived because people keep playing it, and it's awesome. And I want a sequel, damn it. Just because I want to know what the soundtrack's going to be like.
Yeah.
We got the Lego Star Wars Everything trailer, which, it was bound to happen. It's coming out next year because, of course, it has to be, because we haven't seen Episode 9 yet. But I'm wondering if the people at Lego know things that we don't. So that they can make this game. The Untitled Dragon Ball Z project got a new trailer and a title.
Yeah, I'm not interested. It just looks like, hey, the same game over and over again.
Yeah, it's literally the same story again. It's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and it's Dragon Ball Z again.
Yeah.
And I'm not stoked for it. I'll play it because it's a Dragon Ball Z game, but I'm not excited at all, really.
Right.
On the flip side, 12 minutes looked weird as hell, and I was interested.
Yeah.
I want to play that. There's one. It always seems like there's one of these like indie kind of games every year that really grabs my attention, and this was the one for me.
Yeah.
We saw a trailer for Way to the Woods. It's like, okay, cool, that's fine.
Yep.
It's a game about deer. Whatever.
Yeah.
We talked about the Gears stuff. That weird kind of trailer. It's like, okay, they went artistic with this. Not sure how I felt about that. We got the Dying Light 2 trailer. And, I think we saw some of that at the Square conference, because I think that's a Square game too. Coming out spring of next year. We talked about Legos. Lego is the next big Forza Horizon expansion, which makes sense. Forza Horizon 3 had Hot Wheels. 4 has Legos. That's fine. I think it's out now, or was out last week, or is out already at some point. We got another trailer for the Gears Pop Figures game that they're doing, because, sure, why not? State of Decay 2, the Heartland expansion, got a trailer. It's now available. It's also, I think, standalone as well, because it's on Game Pass by itself, so it may be a standalone thing. Phantasy Star Online 2 is coming to the West. It's coming to Xbox spring of next year. Crossfire X is coming next year. I don't know what it is. I saw the trailer. I don't know what it is. We got another Tales game. It's coming next year. Tales of Arise. That's another series that I just never got into. It's just Tales of everything.
Yeah, no, me either.
I'm just waiting for final Tales of Mana, basically at this point.
Yeah.
We got another Borderlands 3 trailer. We got the trailer for Elden Ring, which looks like exactly what they said. They were like, the Dark Souls guys and George R.R. Martin made a video game.
Yeah.
This trailer looks like that.
I think they just called George and were like, hey, what's your favorite color?
Basically.
I wonder how much input he has. But yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
And then, they talked about Halo Infinite, and it got another trailer, which still didn't actually show anything. It was cinematic.
Man, I want to hear more about that game. I hear that it's supposed to be way more open world, and that's what gets me fascinated.
That would be interesting. Open world Halo sounds interesting, which I guess they can do with what they talked about with Project Scarlet.
Yeah, rumors is it's Halo Skyrim, and I'm like, that sounds fascinating.
I'm good with that. I would absolutely take that. And
give me an RPG Halo.
And that would be a hell of a way to push the tech for what is still being called Project Scarlet. It'll get a different name eventually, but the idea that they're gonna run native at 4K.
Yeah.
That's, all right, let's go. You want to go big? Let's go big. For consoles, anyway. I know PC people are like, we've done this for, 35 years. I don't care.
Yeah, but there's something to sitting on a couch and playing it.
Yes.
There's a total turnoff when it comes to PC when it comes to that. So, yeah. Absolutely.
So, when it's like, and there, it's with up to 8K, and I'm just like, let's slow down here a minute.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Samsung has a quantum LED TV, and I'm just like, why are we talking about quantum? Is not a word you use to describe TV. It's a word used to describe physics. But
nowadays
travel.
you can get a 4K television for $200.
Yeah, 4K is cheap. 4K is absolutely cheap. You go to Walmart now and spend $300 on a 50-inch 4K TV.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous to me.
For real. And there's levels to it, obviously you're going to spend maybe $1,500 if it's the brand new OLED, whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, no one needs that. $200 to buy a 40 or 50 inch, or $400 whatever to buy a 50-inch 4K TV. That's something you save a few paychecks. That's affordable.
Yes.
And that's where the next gen is. Okay.
Yep.
If we're going to be able to get 8K in 8 years, 5 years, however many years from now, then yeah. So keep pushing it. I'm glad Xbox is doing that.
Yep. And of the developers, Microsoft is always going to have the most powerful console because that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's their bread and butter.
Actually, I hear that PlayStation's actually going to be more powerful. Now, there's rumors.
I don't believe that just because Microsoft is a computer company.
I don't think Microsoft cares about that. Honestly, here's the thing.
They marketed
they did that last generation, and it bit them in the ass.
With the One X, really? That's how they marketed the hell out of that thing. It's the most powerful console ever.
That's what I mean. I think and I hope, honestly, Microsoft is more focused on games next generation than the power of their console, especially when people like Nintendo are beating them.
And I think that's why they've been buying up studios left and right.
Yes.
I mean, we saw that last year, and we saw some of that again this year.
I read, and this was just rumor, that the PlayStation's looking around $800 to purchase.
Like hell.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to buy.
People spend $1,000 on a phone.
No, not all at once though. You don't.
So that again, 800 is crazy high.
Yes, and it'll never work. People won't pay $6. You think they're going to pay $8? No.
It looks like it's going to be 800. At least that's what every site is reporting.
No, never going to happen. It can't go above 5. 5 is the max. People, when the PS3 dropped at 6, people lost their minds. It'll never happen. There's no way. There's no way. Because and I get it, people.
Again, these are just rumors.
No,
so I hope it's not. I hope it's a lot less, but
no,
that's
never happened.
Even Engadget, it's.
No, I don't believe it. I don't, because there's no way. They'll never sell. They'll die. They will absolutely crater. Their stock will plummet, and everything will collapse. There's no way.
Do you think? Because I know a lot of the companies, like for example, Nintendo is taking their manufacturing out of China because of the trade war. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I guess Sony would have to do the same thing. Theirs are made in China, right?
I guess, but it depends on that side of economics is no pun intended, is very foreign to me, because I just don't know how those costs work.
With the type of stuff they were talking about having in it, like 8K and all that other stuff, it sounds like a gaming PC to me.
Yeah.
When they start talking about like the ray tracing and all that other stuff, I'm like, holy shit! You're talking about a computer that's going to cost you at least $1,200. I am curious how they're going to fit something in a $400 machine that does everything they're promising.
Like it's going to have to be 5, but you can't go above 5. I don't, because people won't buy it.
I'm totally with you. I hope that all of that's bullshit.
Because I get it. People pay $1,000 for a phone, but they finance that. Nobody is gonna finance an Xbox. Not gonna happen. Or a PlayStation.
Didn't they create a finance? I'm just kidding. But
oh my god, they did. Thing? And but didn't it also, like, how much do you hear about that now?
I agree. Dude, I completely agree. I am. Yeah,
that's my point.
It can't go more than 6, and I hope it's at least 5. Not at least, but I hope that it's no higher than 5.
It can't go more than 5. People won't pay $600 for it. They won't do it. Because here's the thing. You can do that for a gaming PC because that targets a very specific niche audience. You can't do that for every PC.
No, I agree.
You can't do that with consoles.
You're going to see a lot of people buying Nintendo soft consoles.
I'm telling you what, man. If these prices come out and they're $600-700, Switch sales are going to go through the roof.
Absolutely.
In a heartbeat, because Nintendo is going to say, hey, we were $300 when we started, and we've gotten better, and we never raised our prices.
Honestly, to me, there's a handful of AAA games that you can't get on the Switch that I really want to get my hands on. This new Star Wars game, CD Projekt Red, those kind of games, I can't wait to get my hold of. But for a majority of the games, dude, I'm looking forward to the stuff that you can play right on the Switch.
Yep.
And that's absolutely 100% where it will go.
Yeah.
Get my money if it's that high.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I think that's it. I know we got to go. Is there anything else that I'm missing?
I think that's it.
Cool. And hopefully we got everything figured out. At least I do with work. Hopefully we'll be back next week. Hopefully nothing happens again. I'm gonna, man, dude, I am diving through these games on the Switch, so I have a lot more to talk about.
Nice.
And I'm gonna get this Game Pass. So, come back next week. Come to our. You can listen to us on YouTube. Dude, we're everywhere.
Yep. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, you name it, we're there.
Oh yeah. Make sure you go to our email, wegeekpodcast@gmail.com. Shoot us an email. Our Facebook group. What else am I missing? It's so late. Twitter @wegeekpodcast, at the Logan Witt, at Adam Estep. And I think that's it. And we'll see you guys next week. Captain.
Captain.